And we are now live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the bonus roll Second Sight Agency campaign. We are Grigham's running a little late, but they'll be here shortly. I figured until then we can do like a quick Q&A. If anyone has any questions, we can talk about a couple things that are going on. Have a couple of announcements that we need to make.
You have super cool news.
Very super cool. Do you want to give the super cool news?
No.
Oh, you want me to give the super cool news?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which super cool news are we talking about? Because there's been a lot of news.
The permission you got to run
Okay.
the other game.
Alright, so, let's see here. I don't know if you actually saw this, Tux, but I actually posted a copy of the email up on the Discord.
Yeah, I just saw it today.
Excellent. So basically, I have been wanting to be like, let's make as much of my life as difficult as possible and involve as many different role-playing games as possible. So in addition to the Second Sight Agency campaign, which we will be playing today, we also will be doing a Shadowrun game, 6th edition, hopefully starting sometime either towards the end of this month or next month, depending on how crazy life gets, because I am technically a full-time student still, finishing my Bachelor's of English. So, yay. Hey, y'all just learned something about me. Anyway, where was I? In addition to the D&D game that you're going to be seeing today and the Shadowrun game that we'll hopefully be starting sometime soon, I just got permission from the co-owner, founder, whatever you want to call him, of a little, not super well-known game called Shard, to run a stream for that. So that's going to be the third game that I'm running. I'm still making a couple decisions on. It's either going to be bi-monthly, which every other week, or if I go full, please hurt me, I whip myself. We may do this as our third weekly game, depending on how insane things get. But that's a couple months off at this rate. My primary goal right now is to not fail my classes and to get what I am tentatively calling Neon Rain up and running.
And the publishers of Cult have also said that streams are permitted as long as we say we're unofficial. So we're still kind of in the background working on a horror one that I'll be running, and I'm only 8 years rusty as a GM. So fun.
So yeah, keep a couple eye out for some one-shots that may go up soon of Zizva running games just to get the rust shaken off. It won't happen. I'll run a couple one-shots sooner or later.
No, I'm either all in for once or twice a month, or, I don't do one shot. I don't want to do one shots.
Zizva is not big on shots.
It's only going to be a one shot if all the players are like, "Oh no, you're horrible," and they run away screaming. Then it's a one shot.
You may notice that the perspective on me has changed. I finally figured out why my camera was reversed. So now when I reach to the right... Wait. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're still reversed on Discord, but we're properly on Twitch.
Okay. I have no idea. Because in my perspective, the camera is over. The curtain is over there, but on the camera, the curtain's over there. I'm not making any sense, and I'm fine with that. So, of course, we are buying a little time while waiting for Grigham to get here and for more people to log in.
We are unfortunately still short a rail.
Yep, he's got at least one more week, and we may have to miss a game or two in the next upcoming weeks too, depending on how crazy certain aspects of our life get. I don't know, this feels weird. I want to go back to the other way. I miss being at where I think everything is reversed.
No.
Yes. Yes, I'm doing it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. That wasn't it.
Good morning, Tux.
Morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, anything you've wanted to talk about for your character?
Oh.
Oh.
No.
Thank you for making this the most awkward Q&A ever, Tux. I did a test stream of Armello earlier this week, and although the streaming program I used to handle, overlays and stuff like that was losing its freaking mind every 2 minutes, saying you're dropping frames and stuff, the Twitch inspector said that it's looking fine. So next step on that is to do a live broadcast with a couple people in the chat to make sure I don't accidentally screw up our progression towards getting Twitch affiliates. But hopefully there'll be a Wednesday night super chill, me and maybe one or two other people playing virtual board games, or me playing Darkest Dungeon with creepy background music or something like that. Yeah, I'm playing a lot of myself.
Yeah, because if there's anything that's a chill stream, it's Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah! I'm thinking I'd just get some horror movies playing in the background, sound constantly. But yeah, no. I don't know why I am doing this to myself, but every time I talk about adding new shows, it makes me super happy. There will probably be no episode of GM's Brew this week, depending on how things go. I am sorry to say that, but the project continues moving forward. Either way, translocating. Spinning dots.
We may want to switch the region.
I'll switch your region, Tux. Good morning. You okay?
We're live.
Just a little bit. It's okay. There's no one in the chat room but you and me and me. I'm kidding. No, it's literally just, Streamlabs. And I guess technically I'm listed as broadcaster.
He's froze. Oh, never mind. I fixed.
Ish. Did anyone else lose damage?
I did. I guess set it back to 3 while we figure it out.
No, it's still picking up his camera. It's just a blank space. If I set it back to 3, it'll be weird. No rush. No worries. We got time. Like I said, there's not a lot of people in chat right now. In fact, there's absolutely no one in the chat right now. This entire thing was basically just for posterity's sake when I upload this to YouTube later.
Also, we have someone in the chat.
No, I see you in the chat.
We have Equilibrium!
What?
Hi.
Oh, there we are.
There we go.
Hey, Equilibrium. I do not know why my thing didn't update. I'm sitting here staring at it, and it's like, there's no one else in the chat. It's like, but people are talking.
We have our viewer moderator.
Hey, Equilibrium. Welcome back to Mage. You okay? You good? Good morning. Hi, Equilibrium. So we're doing just like a kind of little mini Q&A right now. So I guess if you have any questions, or if you want to grab any friends and bring them on in here and have them ask questions. Well, I got some pretty good news. I went over it a little bit already. Equilibrium's, I don't have a chat flow set up for the main screen. So for those of you who can't see, we have a regular viewer, Equilibrium, who recently became our first moderator for the show, or for the channel. and he's doing great apparently, and just asking how we're doing. We're doing pretty good. I got some good news this morning about another game that I now have permission to stream. And it's one that I've done some checking on. There's like no one currently streaming this game, so we were going to hopefully be the first and only shard stream when it gets up and running, which I find is kind of awesome. We have a couple things that are going on that are kind of real life disruptive, so there's not going to be an episode of GM's Brew this week. In all likelihood, if things change, I will let people know. The mage is stuttering badly. Okay. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. This may just have to be like a short little broadcast and just as an update note, and then we will pick up next week. Let's just say that it's Friday the 13th all over today. Because it's our 13th episode? I don't know. Oh, we just lost a mage. Now I have to escort 3 people. There we go. Oh, back to 4.
Well, we'll see how it goes. We might have an audio-only option or something for him.
Yeah, we'll see. Can you see me? Can you hear
Hello?
me? Yeah, he's still chopping up quite a bit on me.
Okay. With no video,
Yeah.
do you still have audio, Griggum?
I'm not hearing anything. If y'all are, please let me know.
Hello?
Hey!
Hey.
I hear your voice.
I hear you.
Yeah. I've been quote unquote here for a while. I couldn't, it was just,
Nothing coming in, nothing going out? Yeah.
didn't think talking was going to do any good.
Okay, no worries, I get you. We're
Like,
kind of having...
everyone is still blinking in and out, and sometimes I don't hear people, but I'm here.
That is a little concerning. I mean, we've been having a couple issues lately.
Yeah, and I'm sorry about... Well, actually, we're live now, aren't we?
We kind of are, but it's okay. I'm thinking that
Yeah.
this is a little, a lot of technical difficulties right at the very beginning that I'm kind of concerned about, but I'm willing to try and push through if you guys are.
Yeah, let's give it a
I
couple of minutes.
I'm just concerned whether I should just be like, this and that and this
I mean,
happened and whatnot. Like,
yeah.
Mostly it just came down to me being like, haha, it's 10 o'clock. It's like, I can just do a little thing, and then I can just be ready right on time, and then black out, and the next thing I know, I hear the call, and I'm like, shh.
Yeah. Hi, Praise Memes. Welcome to the
So
chat.
So I've been running around getting my breakfast and whatnot.
No worries, no worries. We are having some technical difficulties that we're trying to overcome. We will get the game going pretty soon, hopefully. Let's see here now. I think that was most of the... oh, wow. Our viewership just jumped up. Hello, everyone that just joined us. Welcome to the bonus roll. Second Sight Agency D&D campaign. I guess we got people here, so we have to do this. Everyone ready?
Dang. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, let me... we currently have video down on the mage, but he's still there, I believe. We will be picking up gameplay, so give me one moment to read this. Y'all may notice that my camera angle is different than in previous episodes. I'm trying some new things out. Let's see here. We last left off, y'all had done some exploring in the local area and head found your way into a underground vent system, it seems, having a kind of scary encounter, I think. And retreating. Oh. Discord just completely shut down. Huh? Oh, I won't. Camera on. Work. Okay.
Here. Fixed it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Wow.
no, that was my fault.
That was
A
awesome.
part of me started being like,
I don't know how
like,
that was your fault, unless you have like Gremlins trait or something.
I think that was very much a Discord thing, since we all just
well, I mean, the thing
failed.
is that I tried to turn on my camera.
That is an impressive level of gremlins. That reminds me, I need to talk to you later about Shadowrun, if you'll be available for it or not, but we'll worry about that later. Anyway, let me do the recap. I'll redo the announcements. I promise to those of you who are joining us for the first time today, it is not as always as crazy. Oh, Praise Memes, thank you for hosting. Let's see here. And, oh, thank you for the follow, too. We do have a weekly follow goal of 5. We did not hit that last week, but, I mean, hey, life happens. We are going to be doing a giveaway of these blue dice today. Or these blue and gold. I've been referring to them as the Alliance dice. They're shiny.
But why not just...
I mean, that might just be hexing them.
Yeah, I mean...
They're like celestial dice or something?
Should we not be, like, keeping with the Magic the Gathering theme?
Okay, then, let's see. Gold's kind of close to
I mean,
yellow. I guess Azorius? Do these feel Azorius, GL?
I don't know. I can't feel them.
Well, they can't be mono blue because gold colors are dual color. So let's go with Azorius. Is the writing in white?
Yes, the writing
Okay, yeah.
thinking is in white. Okay.
Blue and white, gold card, Azorius, done.
Alright.
And make the blue dice Jace dice.
So, the lovely background your music y'all are hearing is provided
Jason.
by...
No, Jace.
Jace? Oh, yeah, Belrin. Belrin?
Yeah.
Anyway, the lovely background music you're hearing is provided by Sirenscape. Wonderful company, very powerful tool set. Is there anything else I have to say to keep from being sued? I don't think so.
Please tell me you're not showing my Discord icon.
That's what shows up when your camera's not there.
No.
But you could change it in settings real quick to your Griggum picture.
No.
Probably is a good idea because I don't think showing Go-Go from Final Fantasy VI is a good idea.
Is that who that is?
Oh, where's my... Where?
Oh, yeah, we try and keep down the emotes. Sorry, Praise. I am still fiddling with the Streamlabs bots. I really regret having the Streamlabs bots, but it's the easiest way for me to do the giveaways.
Yeah, we'll figure out the tech side of it.
Okay, thank you, Equilibrium. Equilibrium is going to go and grab some more people to have them watch. While Equilibrium is gone, I am going to get the... I did the announcement. I did the warning that they're probably not going to be at GM's Brew this week.
We were on the recap, but we got interrupted by Discord crashing.
I did the Neon Rain. I did the Shard game. For those of you who don't know, Shard is a very unique, very interesting RPG. I found out about it in like 2009 and have been a fan of it for like ever since.
It's cute. It's got like professions and stuff built right in that tie you into the town, and the abilities and stuff are based on biology instead of necessarily magic, although it has magic in the game.
It actually has a very cinematic system. I feel it is a great system to play without figurines or maps or stuff like that, just because the entirety of it is based on how awesome you can describe it. So I'm looking.
It is technically sci-fi.
It's very
its
hard to
background is
define.
sci-fi, but the actual game itself is very Sinbad, I want to say.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it's a very unique game. I have never encountered anything like it, and I fell in love with it when I first got exposed to it.
Yeah,
that sounded
bad. In general, if you think Sinbad, Aladdin, and Conan, you're on the right track with this game.
Yeah, where most of the game, tabletop role-playing games people play these days are, Western fantasy based. It's very much based in Eastern and Pan-Asian fantasy mythology and stuff like that. So it'll be a nice breath of fresh air. So I think this is as good and stable as we're going to get. So let's get on to that recap. Last time, y'all went exploring, found a underground vent system, found a doorway that led. Y'all found a doorway that led into an underground vent system after following some pipes. Going through the vent system, y'all had a very brief encounter that could have gone significantly worse than it did. You managed to escape with only one party member going unconscious, not counting the party member that you already had unconscious. Return to town.
I was about to say.
Yeah. Return to town. Ingrid returned the lamp that she had borrowed from the rot farm, while Faradir and Griggum went to check on Rail's unconscious body, and decided after being told that, oh hey, they tried 150 gold worth of treatment with no effect, that in the initial plan, just leave with Rail and have them send the bill to the person that literally runs the city, or to the place that y'all were staying at, before deciding that was a bad idea and paying the bill. And we left off with y'all reconvening at the Dancer's Skirt, I believe.
Yeah, I was on my way walking back, so that's probably a good point to pick up.
Okay. So, it's getting towards the evening now. Y'all have had a very full day with the early morning battle that woke y'all up at around 5 a.m.-ish, and then the very late afternoon run for your life from the giant skeletal dragon monster. So y'all are all feeling a little bit tired as y'all approach the Dancer's Skirt at roughly the same time. Ingrid, you can see Faradir, Kay, and Griggum hauling Rail's unconscious body through the streets as y'all approach the doorway. The Dancer's Skirt is welcome back, Equilibrium, is one of the taller buildings in town with 3 stories. Fairly large. It has this kind of dark, almost dour looking outside, but from experience inside it's warm and bright, and generally there's entertainment to be had there, as this is pretty much the only recreation facility in the small village of Farkeep.
Oh, there goes my plan to have my own room. Doing any better, guys?
No.
Huh?
I guess since they're gonna run up a tab at the apothecary, we find someone to help take care of him when we have to head back out. Fader, you stayed down longer. Did you meet anyone that might be helpful?
Curiously checks notes. Curses herself for not taking good notes.
Y'all's plan was, I think, to have Reeve babysit Rail.
That was a horrible plan, though.
Reeve, as our new viewers have not found out yet, is a Rakdos-aligned son of a Boros Legionnaire bartender. who has been basically hired by the Second Sight Agency to keep him out of trouble, it seems. Though he's recently proven that he has some value, at least in survival situations. He initially, y'all got to town, you three split off to do your stuff, and he just made for the bar.
He's not easily phased.
Well, he's a Rakdos, so...
Yeah. So that's been a plus so far.
Yeah.
I guess we ought to get a table or private booth while we discuss our next steps.
Once we dump them off, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna put Rail in one of the rooms.
Okay, so as you head into the dancer's skirt, there is a... And it's not uncommon to hear from you what you understand to see a crowd in here in the evening. People, have finished work and they're tying one off or having a meal or just carousing and stuff. But there is just like a pack of people in there surrounding a couple tables that pushed together. You can see standing above the crowd with one foot on the back of a chair and the other balancing on the seat of it. Reeve holding his bottle, drinking, regaling the crowd with a tale. He's all, and the mighty beast tore his head up through the ceiling, through the floor, howling in rage as the Griggum threw, what was it? It was like shards of metal that he had found to try and draw the beast's ire while Ingrid worked her eldritch arts on it, and Faradir shot his bow at it again and again, cracking and piercing the beast's carapace. And he's like, he sees out, he's like, to the heroes! And everyone in the inn turns to look at you and goes, ah!
It's times like this that Ingrid wishes she could be a halfling and hide behind people of one higher size category.
Meanwhile, Griggum just takes this, steps forward and it's like, I wish I was taller.
Can I have everyone go ahead and make a perception roll for me?
Absolutely. Oh,
21.
try you out. And... yeah, let's get classic.
10 for me and 22 for Watcher. He's always just watching things.
Literally. That is his name.
Ooh, hang on. Like 16.
16? Okay, he's not being super stealthy about it. So, as y'all are looking at the crowd that is, turned to you, y'all can see just past the crowd going up the stairs, Reeve and the musician that had been in the downstairs area when y'all had first arrived and been there most of the day playing music.
Oh, that sly dog.
Keeps drawing a crowd.
And then drop the crowd on y'all. Speaking of which, after a couple seconds of people cheering you, they start to kind of swarm forward. A few of them checking over railings. Oh, did this happen at the fight?
Not this one. The
No,
one,
Ingrid cast enthrall.
Okay.
Wait. Is that one of the ones that
Nope.
people get?
She already said it. Let me just pull up what enthrall does because it's been a little while since I said it. I do believe it forces everyone to pay attention to you if they fail their resist.
Him up the stairs, guys, on Spy's Murmur.
Okay, it's wisdom. I'm going to just do this for the group because I don't want to roll 20 saving throws. That is a 14. So yeah, the crowd focuses entirely on Ingrid for a second, blinks a few times, and then they go back to paying attention to the full group of y'all.
I at least, and I'm assuming Griggum is with me, go up the stairs as Ingrid had said.
No one tries to
He's-
stop you, but you're kind of having to like fish through like a crowd. Like
He has holy magics, and his belief puts demands upon him sometimes.
Yeah.
That's my
What?
statement to him.
Oh, Rail. Okay. Like, I was thinking, that statement was out of the blue.
so, there. No one is blocking y'all. Y'all do man. It takes like a little bit of shouldering people out of the way, but most of them part to move to let you through. And I'm assuming y'all are taking Rail up to the room that y'all have then.
Sure.
Okay, so
And set him down gently.
all right.
And go back downstairs. Or at least I am. I don't want to speak for Griggum, but I'm going to go back downstairs.
All right.
Because I'm not usually in the limelight, and that sounds kind of fun.
So, y'all honestly rented out most of the second floor, just because there weren't a ton of rooms, and y'all kind of all got rooms. But y'all don't see Reeve on the second floor anywhere while you're up there. But I'm assuming y'all both are going to rejoin Ingrid then, right, Griggum?
Sure, yes, absolutely.
Okay. While they're gone, people are just like swarming around you. Ingrid going asking like, "What was it like? Is it safe? Is it gone?" He said that y'all fought it off.
Seems to be trapped for the moment. We're going to have to mount a new expedition.
Okay. And after a little bit, the barkeep Lesney that has been serving y'all, and you've noticed that now, like every time y'all been here, she has been in like the tap room. Brings by a couple drinks and sets them on the table for y'all, giving Ingrid a little smile. It's like that. Sounds like you've had a busy day. Y'all need food?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
And she goes ahead and passes her a couple gold to help with the cost and stuff.
Two orders for me.
She nods and takes the coins, and it takes about maybe 20 minutes for the food to arrive. And like the lunch, where it was just a bunch of like, Equilibrium, thank you for the host. Where it's like a bunch of little ramekins of sauces and like roasted meats and stuff. This is very much the same kind of meal, but the sauces tend to be a little on the sweeter side. And the bread's not nearly as thick. This is more for scooping, it seems, than just dunking in the sauces.
I give a portion to Kay.
Okay, you're like,
I'll give him lots of scratches and pets.
you're like,
Watcher goes up to the rafters to get a good view while we're eating.
it's a multi-story, so there's not really rafters. There are support joust beams that he can perch on, though. So he kind of clings on to one of those and like up to the side and settles down and sends you periodic little snippets of like just the tops of people's heads while they're eating and drinking. It's like after that first initial rush of people and then like the swarming of you for a few minutes, once you sat down and started eating, the crowd kind of dispersed. So if someone comes by every now and then, it's like, "You guys are a blessing upon us. Thank you."
Welcome anytime.
I thought you said "fuck 'em, Eddie." I was like, "Wait, what?" It's like,
Here's our card.
So we gotta get back and deal with that thing, though.
I think we don't. I think we should wait.
Do have a visit we need to make, but it did. Am I imagining it saying it was going to come looking for us, or did it just say see us again? And
Don't think it's gonna come looking for us. And if I mean, my sort of my feeling.
You
is
just
that
assumed
we should just-
we'd be back?
and we are. So, but the
I
point
think it's
being
totally
is
going to come and attack the town if we stay in the town.
I think it would be quite obvious if it did, but
Well, yes, obvious with all the destruction and the bloodshed. It would be very obvious. That's kind of the problem.
how would it know we were even in town? Anyways, I think that what we need to do is just hold off until Rail gets better, and then go on as a full group and deal with it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like what we're here for might need all hands on deck, you know?
Yeah.
We do have that meeting we need to do.
Yeah, I think we probably want to. Yeah, have that meeting. Okay, so
Pretty sure it's going to come after us.
okay, that's nice. In any case, yeah, I think I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely gonna need a good rest. I kind of don't feel like doing anything more active, at least for today. For tomorrow, I think that we should see how Rail's doing. If he's up, we go try to take care of the dragon. If not, we try to talk with. Gosh.
Lady Farkeep?
Yes.
So y'all are going to take a long rest then?
I think that is currently the plan.
When was the last time we had a long rest?
Before the initial battle with like the elemental and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's been a long damn day for y'all.
Yeah, we've had two.
Yeah, it's a bit.
At least
it's been
two.
4 hours tracking around too, walking.
Yeah.
I guess we're doing a long rest.
Goodness.
Okay, is there anything anyone
I'm
wants
going to talk to Lesney to see if there's anyone that could check in on Rail a couple times so that we can sleep through.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before you start your long rest?
Theoretically,
Oh,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, did I interrupt something? It's like,
I didn't hear what you said.
hello?
Hi.
We
Is that
both started
interrupting?
to talk, and I was saying go ahead since I already mentioned one thing.
Okay, I pretty much figured I'd probably stay within the tavern area for a little while, just spending time with people and drinking and whatnot.
Okay.
See if I can collect any rumors or some such. It's like,
All right. Let's see here. So, let's see here. Ingrid, you kind of wait for Lesney to have a quiet moment before you approach the bar. She looks up as she's like cleaning a few glasses. Is like, yes, hon. How can I help you?
Since we're going to be kind of going in and out, do you think there's anyone that could check in on Rail a little bit here and there for pay?
The Rails, your friend is sick, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have a couple of the girls poke in and check on him every now and then. Which room did you leave him in? We gave you 4 of them. Like the third one?
Yes, he's got his own room. Just to give him a couple sips of water and see how he's doing.
Yeah, certainly. I'll have the girls check on him between their runs.
Okay. Just if they run up a bill, check it with me. And
Okay, don't worry too much about it though. Okay, we'll just like if we need to, if it costs us any money, we'll do something. Let you know. But if they're just poking in on them, it shouldn't be a problem.
And she's gonna approach Fairdeer and ask if he thinks we should get a couple more potions in case anything happens during the night.
What time is it about?
It's hard to keep track of time down here, and they really use more of a very loose, like, it's lunch hour, it's dinner hour, it's evening, going to bed. It is very much in the evening going to bed phase of the day.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that I think the apothecary is probably going to be the person that would have that, and I feel like this may be too late now.
Okay.
that right?
Griggum, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and spend, let's say, 2 gold on buying people drinks, and roll me an investigation check, please.
Since I'm buying people drinks, is that bad advantage? Because I'm kind of just like hobnobbing with them, or I guess you could say.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give you advantage on it.
Okay, now I just got to figure out where my gold is. Okay, there it is.
You should have plenty at this point.
Yeah, I might need to double check that because apparently I'm at 29.
Oh.
So it's plenty,
You might
but
not have added the
think this
100
was-
payout that we could scroll back up on the chat for the denominations, but you might not have added that.
Yeah, I think that was...
So an additional 100?
Well, it was divided between platinum and gold and silver and copper. So,
So
if you're not showing any platinum, you don't have the payout. If you show you have 4 platinum, you added it.
all right. Just type me up what I should be having, and I'll fix it because I can't understand anyone vocally, or at least
Okay.
it
I'll
would be
scroll up
difficult
in
vocally.
the chat, see if I can see it.
Okay, I mean, you did get paid that 325 gold, of which you spent like 150 of paying the apothecary who dosed Rail with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
Okay,
we just
so-
need to add that to party to the...
So I spent 2 gold.
Okay, go ahead and make me an investigation roll. And this is just to see, like, generally how much information you get out of people. You're not doing anything, like, overtly aggressive, and you're kind of, like, being regarded as a town hero, so you definitely have advantage on this right now.
And I'm going to use some new dice I bought recently. Okay, so investigation, that'll be a straight 18.
18. Okay. Is there anyone in particular around the town that you were wanting to learn about?
Well, I still don't know too many people around the town, except maybe the guard captain.
Okay, so you're just trying to find out some information then. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here now. So, you end
Mostly
up...
wanted to get... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to do a recap, so I need you go ahead and tell me what you were going to do.
Pretty much just, what I'm mostly trying to get a feel for is, like, what recent troubles have been, and any unusual, details.
Okay.
As of like, hey, such and such boy used to be such a nice kid, but lately he's been visiting this strange group of people, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So, you end up seeing and talking with a couple rot farm workers. For the most part, they're just, like, telling you about the people in town. They tell you about this boy called Perterly. He's just finished his apprenticeship at the smithy, and Emerson is starting to look for a new apprentice. They tell you about how Frella Whitfist, one of the people who run the Rot Farm tends to prefer animals to people, and she's a druid, and she spends most of her time in animal form patrolling the Rot Farm. Let's see here. And you said 18, right?
Yes.
One of them points across the room at the dancer, the gray green-skinned woman with like the sharp lower canines. Kind of leans in close to you and whispers, "Kelsa, she was born in Varkey, but her father was a strange man of green skin, and he had a very violent disposition. He only stayed here for like a night or two, but after that, she was born maybe 9 months later, and she's got his temper, I can tell you that." And really, that's most of what you find out. It's just a sleepy little farm town with not a lot going on, other than like the incursions that have been occurring, which you all already know about.
So nothing that sounds like it's of recent origin, huh?
Like the most sinister thing. Well, 18. Yeah, they would have like towards the end of the night, as like it's just you and one of the other rot farmer. He kind of like leans in close and stuff. Leia Farkeeper, you know, the lady who runs this place. I heard that her power comes from some deal she made with something dark. So, I mean, the Golgari already got plenty of dark going on, but like there's something like deep dark about her. So that's not sure where it's coming from, though. And yeah, that's pretty much all that you can manage to get out of people.
I may need that rumor in written form.
Oh, sure thing. 1 second. For those of y'all hearing the occasional beep and blip, that is the background chat just blowing up in our little group as people send messages back and forth.
A couple audio issues, a couple record keeping issues. Behind the scenes RPG stuff that's not necessarily worth vocalizing on here.
And interrupting the GM. It's like,
you know, sort of completely out of subject. Is anybody in the chat a CPA? No, I'm kidding.
I have no idea where he's going with that joke.
That was very flat.
Thank you. I try.
Do you?
Since we kind of have some time, I think I am going to go ahead and do a medicine check on Rail.
Okay, go ahead and make your medicine roll.
Okay, that's going to be...
Oh, hey, with Reeves still out socializing and Griggum downstairs, it's almost like Ingrid has her own room. So she's going to bed.
Okay. 24 on my medicine check.
Is there anything you're checking for particularly?
Basically his general state, make sure he's not deteriorating or anything, make sure he's...
He seems
like,
fairly stable.
Not dehydrated or anything, yeah.
He seems fairly stable. He does not look to be losing any muscle mass or atrophying any. His body is still very much ragdoll as opposed to the lock joint that you see with paralyzation. He does have some form of rapid eye movement as you sit there and watch, but it's extremely slow.
Oh, let's screw it.
Oh, screw it. Okay. I was very like, what?
I think we've done it before, but just, I don't know. In character, maybe my character's just tired. Through the Spy's Murmur, I'm going to go Rail. Rail and just see if there's a response.
You don't get anything.
Right. As I suspected. Okay, I think at this point I'm going to probably go to, just go to my room and go to sleep.
And internally, Rail's dreamscape shifts to a nightmare as his teasing coworker's voice intrudes. Just kidding.
So, you are all taking a long rest. In the process of this long rest, I need everyone to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Fuck. 16.
Oh,
I know I have a positive score in wisdom. Look. 13.
Okay.
Do I need to roll for K?
No.
Okay.
Generally, I'll let you know if I need you to roll for K. I mean, you can if you want.
I'm good.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Thank you. So you all take a long rest. There's no real sunrise or sunset as you're underground, but you do hear the sounds of people starting to stir and awaken and breakfast being served downstairs. As you start to wake up, it's kind of been like a slow, hard to get moving morning. Everything feels like stiff and sore and hurt. It may have something to do with the repeated electrocutions that y'all suffered last night. Let's see here.
Among other things.
Yeah.
this is how Spanner must feel every morning, and it is horrible.
Wait, repeated electrocutions?
Y'all got hit with like 4 lightning bursts, I think. 2 or 3 at least.
Yeah, like we fought
The
a lightning
tunnels?
elemental, so
Fought something.
Yeah, y'all got hit by a lot of electricity yesterday.
I thought you meant while we were sleeping. I was like, wait, what?
No. But y'all awaken
Hang
on
on.
what you assume is the 5th of Mokesh. Again, underground. Not really able to keep track of time that great. But people sound like they're up and about and doing stuff. Y'all all slept through the night with a little like ache and pain waking you up every now and then, but no real issue. Let's see here now. Oh, today it is Fairdeer. Fairdeer, as you are waking up, you hear a slightly angry voice in the back of your head. Hey, Fairdeer, are
What's
y'all
up?
still alive?
Yes.
Send me a response and let me know if you need me to send you anything. The business is doing okay.
Good. Through the Spies Murmur, I'm gonna send Ingrid and Griggum. Do we need to tell Cathal anything?
All doing good.
Rail's unconscious. I was like,
Unconscious but stable.
Rail's still unconscious. Good otherwise.
Don't replace him. Tell her not to replace him.
Don't replace him.
But hire Reeve at a better rate.
He's not hired. That's us. Not. She has nothing to do with that. I sent that through the Spies Murmur, not the message, by the way.
Well, we don't have a skilled hire. When they finished your armor, tell her to officially hire Reeve. It might get him medical benefits or something.
Okay, skilled hire. Hire Reeve as skilled hire.
I think you have 3 more words if you want to use them.
Permashave.
I love you.
Oh god, that would go so badly! That would go so badly!
I know.
Alright, so...
He said 3 words, and I was like, I love you.
There's about maybe a 15-minute delay before this swirling vortex of air appears like next to Faradir, and this like 3-foot wide trunk just drops on the floor with a clunk.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to open the chest, but I just wanted to note that this is actually great because during that 15 minutes, I'm going to like try to stretch it out. I don't know if I need to make a roll or something for that, but that's what Faradir's doing. Trying to kind of work with the kink.
But
You are extra deli.
So I'm gonna open the trunk and see what's inside.
Inside the trunk is a kind of neon pinkish purple half cloak and a pin that is wrought in the second Psi Agency's logo, the Arcane Eye. There is a note there as well that basically says Reeves' uniform. Please make sure he wears.
Okay. Dang it, I was thinking half cloak. K! Oh.
I don't think Kay has to worry about the sun right now at all.
This is true. But we probably do want to see what it would take to get one of those little second sight agency things to put on his collar, because he's very much a member.
You could probably tell Cathal that when she contacts you again. That's literally what she is there for, to take care of small things like that so y'all can focus on the business.
Branding. Okay. I'm going to very neatly kind of fold the cloak up in the pin as a package. Do we know what room Reeve is staying in?
Y'all only had like 4 rooms and like a quick search. 3 rooms, sorry. Y'all did. No, it should be 4. Okay.
It was 3. Rail wanted
right.
his own room, and Ingrid didn't want to stay in the room with the shaggy, bloody dog, even after we cleaned him up. So Griggum, Reeve, and Ingrid have been sharing a room.
Okay, there we go. Reeve never showed back up last night.
That's what I kind of figured. Okay. I'm just gonna keep the clothes. Yeah, so keep it folded up, kind of nice and neat. Put it like kind of on the bed for later. Not really wanting to disturb Reeve until he comes down. Because at that point I'd just be knocking on random doors, which I've found out in real life tends to get negative reactions.
I send Watcher down to see if the room's packed again with storytelling or if the coast is clear to head down.
Oh. Give me a perception roll from Watcher, please.
I think I'm just gonna head down.
10.
Okay. Well, as Faradir heads down and Ingrid telepathically spies on the tap room through her pseudo-dragon, the room got a crowd in it. It's not a huge crowd. It's not raucous like last night. It's very much a people getting their breakfast kind of feel. Reeve is down there sitting next to the musician and the green-skinned girl, drinking from his bottle and talking with them. Leslie is walking around serving breakfast, and while the lunch and the dinner seem to be mostly like those sauces and dipping, the breakfast is very much a quick eat it and go, so it's kind of sandwich bread and sliced meats and cheeses.
Okay. Through my lip reading ability, is Reeve like in the middle of like his game, or is he just kind of in just kind of polite conversation?
Make me a perception check. Just because this is something that you're actively doing instead of passively. 8?
Mm-hmm.
You haven't spent a lot of time face to face with Reeve, and he has a habit of using jargon that you're not 100% familiar with, but you get the impression from like just the snippets of the conversation that it's mostly just him chatting them up. Like
I
he's
think
not sharing any information or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll just walk over.
Like walk over to Reeve, or
Yeah, the Reeve. Sorry.
he's like, "Hey, what's up, man?"
Not much. So for right now, you're officially hired by the Second Side Agency.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a bit of a uniform. Let me go and get it for you. And I go up, get it for
Uniform?
and go down and give it to him.
Okay.
And say, welcome to the agency.
Yeah, he is
Have a
gone.
uniform?
Yeah, the Cathal sent a kind of a purplish pink neon half cloak and a pin. But by the time you get back, Fairdeer, he is gone.
Perception roll to find him.
Oh, I'm heading down now.
Go ahead.
It'd be a 21.
21. You don't see him. You see a bunch of people coming in and out of the inn. People grabbing a meal and heading out.
Rude. And then I guess I just go up to the room, back to my room, put it down. Ingrid hasn't come out yet, right?
Mm.
Just
Okay.
said I did earlier that
Yeah.
I just said I'm heading down.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you see Ingrid on the stairs down as you're heading back up to put the put the rope back up. You
I
really
think
thought the
I'm-
Rakdos would take the "hey, we have a uniform for you to wear"? Well,
They wear uniforms
they wear
all the time.
costumes.
Yeah, since
It's very
Grigum, I don't
flamboyant.
know that Grigum's up yet. I'm going to put the clothes back in my room rather than their shared room.
What were you saying to Mage?
No, I was just gonna say, but it's a very flamboyant. It's like
Yes.
uniform.
It's very much designed to be noticeable at a distance.
Oh,
Being
yeah,
kind
that
of
could
bright
be-
pinkish purple.
Okay, yeah, that may not be. But he should at least have the pendant.
Yeah,
Um,
that would probably go better.
And
Okay.
Ingrid is fixed up in print. She's wearing her noble clothes. They're covered in mushrooms. Her hair is foofy.
Like this is a
Covered in
version.
mustard.
This is a version of Ingrid you have never seen before. She's still wearing her breastplate, I'm assuming. But
It's very shiny. She would still wear that.
but she also has like under it this long dress with like epaulets of shelf mushrooms and those, what is that type called that's all branchy, mycelium-ish? I can't remember.
Mycelium.
Yes, it's one of the ones I grabbed from my old bedroom last trip.
Like this is like noble clothes, noble, like, you know, costs as much as a person's rent for the month clothes.
Actually meant the noble clothes I bought up, but if it's okay to have one of mine from my old room, that works too.
Yeah, either or.
I was about to say, out of character, I kind of just imagined her like having like curlers, except instead of curlers, it's like mushrooms. But
And she has a
Okay.
traditional Magic the Gathering one, which is the bird's nest one. So she's got like a nest right here with little connected eggs and her hair wove around it. And then some of them are bioluminescent. And she's just decorated. She's used her spore pouch and primped while you were chasing down Reeve. And Grigum was probably sleeping in a little bit.
yeah, I'm assuming so. And if I see her in the hallway, I'm probably going to stop for a second and be like, "What?" And then continue on and put the clothes in my room.
Morning, fellow coworker person.
Morning.
So yeah, like this is starting to make me feel realize that I probably should have better clothing now.
Yeah, we may need to go clothing shopping before this meeting. In any case, at this point, I would have deposited the clothing on my bed and come down for breakfast with Kay.
Yeah, y'all feel either very underdressed or like Ingrid is very overdressed.
I mean, we are meeting with
in general, where we are is probably it is. What is the group called? What guild is this again?
Golgari is the primary guild that handles this place, but most of the people here are guildless and just work for the Golgari.
Okay, yeah, but when the people in control of this place are the Golgari. I don't think appearance is going to be that important to us right now, but later down the line, we're starting to get more and more popular. It's going to need to look good.
So
good.
Personally, I think that's extremely racist.
Everyone ready to meet the noble lady?
When it's a mix of race?
Just because you don't understand.
It's probably guildist, but not racist.
Everyone ready to meet the noble lady who runs a town of 500 and provides surface food for everyone?
Nope. We probably need to get more distinguishable clothes. Actually, I say that, let me check my sheet. I know I don't have noble clothes or something, but...
Said you have simic robes. I don't know if that's the best choice, but it's workable?
Yeah. Griffin thinks back to, oh yeah, I do have one on commission. I haven't really filled that one out though.
7,000 miles away?
No, it's somewhere else entirely, and through channels I probably should not talk about.
Yeah, I could Rail and I are pretty much the same size, and I could just...
Out of character, you had your clothing item right, because the GM said in game you picked it up in between adventures.
Did I now?
Yeah.
I may have missed that, and it's but in either case, I think all in all, what we're really trying to say is at some point we might going to need an art update.
In any case,
am I wrong?
So, I'm gonna go down get some breakfast. I think that probably I may...
Did I come through? Hello?
I may need some help in getting suitable clothing if you're up for that.
I'm sure. We can go around and see what they have. You might just have to commission something if it's down here, though. I would say the person that knows everyone we were told to meet would be the smith. So, if we want to know where to get you the best stuff, we should go talk to Emerson.
I'm not saying, obviously I could never
the best stuff.
Look as good as you, but, something that would be at least appropriate. Not top of the line, but, I admit I'm not too familiar with Golgari culture and want to make sure that I don't wear something that would be offensive.
So, traditional Golgari is very formal. You want good fabrics, and you want them to integrate with your environment. Moss is great, spider webs are great, mushrooms are great. I have a few uses of mushrooms so we could decorate you with something that's totally not poisonous, which would be easier for you to manage. And so basically what you do is you get a nice outfit with lots of embroidery and stuff, and then you start working on growing its ecology over time for your formal wear.
You have magic to help that process, though, right?
I can create you pretty mushrooms for your outfit. They will be very decorative. And I will not even give you any zombie spore mushrooms.
Selwyn, thank you for following.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. So, yeah, that sounds. Thank you for sharing.
If you want to get something, I suggest we either talk to our innkeeper or find Emerson for who to go to.
Okay.
I mean, we could put mushrooms on your current outfit. Your armor's more decorative now. I noticed the little waves and stuff. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, maybe we should go with that option again. I'm not trying to dress up quite to the level you are. Clearly, you are of higher status than I am in Golgari culture. I respect that.
I'm well sponsored, we shall say. Speaking of which, I'll need to visit soon. But okay, now hold still. Don't move. Just don't move. And she gets out her little pouch. And she's like, this is going to look like I'm throwing dust on you. Because I'm throwing spores on you and they're going to grow on your clothing. And integrate it and slightly dig in. Okay, we're going to apply it lightly on the armor. Just put like your robe a little bit over the armor so we can attach more to the robe, okay?
Okay, what kind of check do I do to hold my breath?
Constitution.
Constitution is generally what you want.
But, I mean, you can hold your breath for a number of minutes equal to your Constitution modifier.
Oh.
And I've got a few light bioluminescence to kind of help with the gloom a little bit. So let's do a bioluminescent shelf going around your left shoulder.
Okay.
And let's do these little white bell-like ones kind of on your side.
Okay.
And these red speckled ones can kind of go like a belt. And she decorates them.
Okay.
Okay.
Cultural appropriation.
So there's like a couple minutes there of Ingrid just digging out these like handfuls of what looks like sand almost, and just pelting Faradir with it. And where she splashes them, after a few seconds, like mushroom colonies start growing. They're not huge by any means, but they're like visibly there. And after a couple more seconds, the bioluminescent shelf starts glowing this kind of greenish blue.
My best advice to keep them growing is to mist them lightly with something yeasty like beer.
Okay.
I'm done decorating Faradir now.
I feel like Ingrid really enjoyed this. Anyways. Okay, so I think I'm appropriately dressed for the occasion now. Hopefully.
Grigum, are you putting anything special on?
I want to say yes.
I mean, you have your monk robes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd like to think that the ones that I got from commission look a little more like, how can I put this? Like, proper Chinese garb?
Oh, yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but
they're more, it's more designed to be worn open vest, and it's kind of a little bit longer, with full sleeves, but like those sleeves that hang down, that you can obviously like store kind of a pouch in there, or like just kind of fold your arms like this while you're walking. It's very much reminiscent of kind of like the Yakuza style, where it's exposed flesh on the chest, where they would not tattoo there, but under like where the shirt normally is, it's like just heavy tattooing, though you haven't picked up the ink. But yeah, it's that kind of a overrobe.
What?
Are you looking for a kimono?
Kind of, it's something between
that's Japanese.
Yeah, it's kind of something along the lines of like a fusion between the two, where
Gotcha.
it's got just like open chest down, but only in like a single strip, and it's got like heavy sleeves with like long flowy bits at the end. It's a very nice cut. It's a little bit between I can't remember the name of it. It's the tabby jackets that like monks used to wear, and just loose general day-to-day wear.
Cool.
So it looks nice, and it has whatever the effect was that you had the tailor program in when you picked it up, which I don't think we ever detailed out. So
Okay. So, eat breakfast and then try to get an audience.
Oh, nice look, Gregum.
Thank you.
He knows how to dress up.
I never really had the chance,
that you know
as
of.
far as I know. That's down. I probably need to get some sort of formal clothes at some point, but
When we see the lady today, we probably need to let her know about the lizardy thing. That's unfortunately on the books.
okay, I would recommend not mentioning anything about specifically why we're here.
No, two different parties have said it might be best to keep that on the down low. So,
Agree.
and we think that he might. I mean, we don't have any proof that the lizard-like thing has a connection to the coin. Is my only concern.
No, but I think that it's probably a good start.
Yeah, we could resolve that first and then continue.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if we're going to mention the dragon, don't. Yeah.
At the mention of
Yeah.
dragon, a few heads that are still at the nearby tables kind of look up and look.
Lizard, the very big lizard.
Lizard. Sorry, it's a slang thing. My apologies.
There are a couple of them like finish their meal pretty quick and leave. And
So
I have some rolls
I
to
guess
make.
I eat. I give some decay. I'm sure if we can gloss over.
Yeah, fair dear. The big lizard, not.
Okay. Kay happily eats the bread and the cheese and the meat.
I give him scritches. Okay. Actually, before we leave, I do want to go into Rail's room and do another medicine check.
Okay. As you go in, the woman you've seen around the place a couple times that always just seems to be perpetually wearing the mask with her hair down and the kind of Chinese style cut dress with the like 4 blades on each hip looks up from the where she's sitting next to the bed holding a cup of water. Doesn't say anything, just looks at you.
How's he doing? I really appreciate you helping my friend. If you don't mind, I'd like to check on him.
She turns back to him and starts kind of gently pouring little bits of water into his mouth.
I think I'm gonna wait until she's done. Kinda. Yeah.
So, are you staying in the room, or are you...
Yeah, probably not. That would probably be a little awkward, so I'm just gonna kind of hang out and wait until she passes through.
Okay, so, like, you spend about maybe 10 minutes at most outside, before she, like, opens the door, closes it, looks at you silently, and then walks off.
Okay, I'm gonna go in and do a medicine check, see how Rail's doing.
As you go in, you see the word Hi, H-I, has been carved into the wall, where you would see it when you come in.
Okay.
Go ahead and make your medicine check.
It's gonna be a 9.
Rail died in his sleep.
I'm sorry, 11.
Oh, okay. Rail is still unconscious. His eyes are just moving very slowly.
I'm trying to take his pulse with his nose, you dimwit. Just like pinching his nose. I'm not getting a pulse.
I'm palpating the region as hard as I can.
Quick, punch his stomach. Maybe that'll revive him. Okay. You know what? Heck, I guess investigation on the high.
Okay.
Can I see, like, what she generally carved it with?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's an 8? Yeah, that's an 8.
Something sharp.
Fair enough. Okay. Rail seems to be doing okay.
Are you telling them this, or...?
Yeah, sure. On the Spy's Murmurs. Just checked on Rail. Seems to be doing okay. I'm assuming there hasn't been any sign of Reeve since the clothing fiasco.
Well, he doesn't have a murmur, so we can't tell him. And none of us have a way to message him. So, the clothing fiasco? What are you talking about? He did not try a stripping performance, did he?
Just hear silence on the other end of the thing. The Spy's Murmur, you're actually sending, like, voice, not...
It's
you can't send
telepathic.
images,
It's
right?
Telepathic communication.
Okay, but it's through
It's not
voice,
images.
not images. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna head back down to the common room.
He didn't do that, right? Still on the murmur.
Not to my... Well, I mean, I assume so last night, but I think that was more for a private audience.
So, I'm assuming you said something awkward and you ran our employee off? That's in words when he comes in.
That's a possibility.
Is
You want to
I have a
discuss?
question about Spy's Murmur.
Is there...
Oh, sure. What's your question?
Do you broadcast 1-to-1, or is it like a PA system?
It's 1-to-1.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm just thinking, wow, this is an earful for Brigham to hear.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
think if he was trying to call both of us, it just doesn't work that way then, or what?
no, it's 1-to-1, and you have to know a person is wearing it.
So when he said he asked both of us, so Brigham would have heard his first question, but not the follow-up conversation.
No, he wouldn't have heard the follow-up conversation. He would have heard the question and been able to respond on his own if he wants.
Right.
Is there any check that I would do to recall if I was being, like, insensitive or whatever, or...
Insight, I guess?
Okay.
So you probably are going to get interrupted by Brigham saying, "Oh, so he's awake then."
9.
No, it seemed fine. You have no idea why the son of a Boros Legionnaire who ran away to literally join the circus would have an issue with being given a uniform to wear.
What clothes are we talking about, Fair Dear?
A cape with a pendant. In retrospect, may be not the cape, but the...
Are you giving him Kay's cape?
It's a half cloak, technically. So it only
Yeah.
goes down to like the hips.
Are you trying to give him Kay's cape?
Oh, but Kay may have a new cape.
Then where'd you get the new cape?
Oh, Cathal. She sent the magic treasure box. this
Okay.
morning. We discussed
You
Cathal
never
has
told
a
anyone that.
Cathal has a magic treasure box. Oh, I love it. Thank you. She will kill you if she ever knows you said that.
Look, I'm a little sleepy in the morning. I kind of forget what I have and have not done.
So, let's let me or Grigum lead the upcoming conversation with the noble? Maybe, since you've already chased us off an employee while in the Undercity and he's not near home?
I think chase off is a little strong of a term.
Okay, where is he?
Not here.
Did he run because of you?
I don't. You know what? Do you want me to track him down?
No! I'm gonna go see if his green skin friend is around. I haven't been introduced to yet, so I don't know her name.
Oh, okay.
Okay, alright, I was about to say, you mean me?
I'm assuming you mean either
Green.
Grigum or Kelsa.
I believe Kelsa, the one that I saw him with, before I headed to my room last night.
Okay. That wasn't who he was with last night. Last night he was with the musician that is...
Okay. I thought they were both there.
She was there, but Ileana was the one that he left the room with.
Okay.
I don't think he'll actually got her name.
Is she in the room? The common room?
Yeah, she and Kelsa are still having breakfast at at the table in the back, where Reeve was. They look up as he approaches, like, "Oh, hello," and Kelsa's like,
Hi, it appears my coworker may have upset Reeve. If you see him, tell him he didn't mean whatever he said, and we'll work it out later."
They kind of, like...
He's very awkward, and I don't know what he said because he's not communicating well today.
They kind of look each other, and Ileana, like, I'll be here all day. I'll tell him if I see him.
Thanks. We value Reeve a lot as a team member. He's a really awesome guy. We like having him around, so I don't want it to sit there as a misunderstanding.
Yeah, he's got a lot of talents.
While we're having this conversation, can I do a check to see if I could track him? I'm not going to start doing it, but just to see if I could.
Yeah, go ahead and make me a survival roll. This is
I
basically...
feel like I'm the...
Oh, what's up?
15?
What did you say, Demage?
All I was saying is, why do I feel like I'm the only one with any social grace and I'm the goblin?
Ingrid's just really awkward when she's covering for someone else who is not good with people. She really can't explain what Fairdeer did because he didn't tell her. So she's really winging it on that one.
15.
Right.
Okay.
I gotcha. I think Grigum is a lot more at home covering another person's actions.
15. So just to check, it's been about like maybe what, 30, 40 minutes since like you first approached Reeve?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, you look around and you don't see any like sign of him outside or any noticeable tracks that you can identify as directly his.
Okay.
Also, is there a music shop in town?
Are you?
I'll go ahead and ask the girls before I head away.
Are you okay, Ileana? She kind of like holds up her veal and is like, "I got this at the market from one of the traveling merchants. They would probably be your best bet.
Okay, if we don't see him, we might look around the stalls later. Thank you very much.
It's have a nice one. She kind of half leans against the chair that's between her and Kelsa, but there's no one in the chair, so she's just kind of leaning a little to the side.
I'm sure if Reeve were here, he'd be very glad to know that whatever Fairdeer said is a mistake and we'll resolve it later. Bye, everyone.
Hey.
Kelsa and Ileana like, okay, bye. Well, Ileana is like, Kelsa just kind of smiles and at Ingrid.
Ingrid's just chuckling as she walks away.
I mean, I think Faradir's gonna just kind of be bewildered. Like,
So the rest of the group
he wasn't drunk. He wasn't insulting him. He was complimenting him.
Reeve wasn't drunk, or you weren't, or Faradir
I
wasn't drunk.
wasn't
Reeve was
drunk.
drinking out of a bottle, the same bottle y'all been
Whoa.
seeing him drink out of.
In any case,
So
I
the
wasn't
group-
drunk.
The group sees Ingrid walk over, talk to like Ileana and oh, why do I keep on forgetting her name?
Did he come with the bottle? It's like,
Yeah, he arrived with the bottle. He's been drinking out of it since like he arrived at the agency.
You remember when y'all hang out, he got it refilled.
And he got refilled while y'all were hanging out.
Okay. So he got it refilled. It's not that that we haven't seen it. Oh, okay. It's like, because I was about to say that little bastard's been holding out on me.
No, he's been getting
A
it
flask
refilled.
of Everfill mud. Everything alcohol. Fucking.
So Ingrid comes back giggling and she's like, okay, I think we need to see about booking our meeting soon.
Okay.
Yes, that probably is a good idea.
You know what? I think that I'm not very good at that sort of thing, so I think I am going to just go outside and just see if I could see Reeve, like, in the crowd or anything like that.
Okay, go ahead and make me a perception roll, please, just since
Okay.
you're actively looking instead of passively.
Okay, that's going to be 20.
Is Fairdeer running off too, Gregum? Did he tell you he was going anywhere?
Okay, so Faradir, you
No,
kind of get
why
up
not?
and walk away from your friends, go stand outside, look around, and don't see any sign of Reeve.
I'm
You
gonna
think-
give a sigh and then come back.
I think if we hit him over the head, he'd fall asleep and then wake up on the right side of the bed this morning?
I mean, you have to hit him.
So,
Am I there to hear this?
yeah, you come back as they're discussing assaulting you.
Oh, Kay sleeps at the foot of my bed.
Okay, well, let's go see about setting up a meeting. I don't know if it'll be at the same time or come back later, so let's head there and see if we can set up a meeting.
All right, let's do this.
Okay, so the Farkeep Mansion is at the north end of the town. Y'all head out of the dancer's skirt and start walking. It's a short walk, about maybe a 20-minute. But about 10 minutes after y'all get out and start on the trip, Reeve just kind of appears behind y'all. He kind of like puts a hand on Gregum's shoulder and then half leans on Faradir and takes a swig as well. So, what we doing today, guys?
Trying to see the
The wizard?
We're off to see a noble, maybe. We have to book an appointment, I think. Unless, she's just available right now. We're gonna go see Lady Farkeep.
Oh, okay. Let me know if you need anything. And then he kind of just like,
I'm gonna quickly put a hand on him. I don't know if you want me to make like a dex save or something, but just be like, "We good?"
Like you're just like, are you grabbing him or are you patting his shoulder?
Like, kind of just putting a little bit of
firm,
force.
Yeah, like a firm, but not like
aggressive,
forceful.
but like, hey.
Like,
Okay, so you're not trying to grapple him.
Right.
yeah.
He's like, looks at your hand and he kind of like, my man.
Dude, man, we appreciate you. Just want to make sure you know that. You're very valuable to
That
this
said,
game.
like, we do at least need you to wear the pin because it would allow us to find each other, very quickly, in case something should pop off. It's like,
oh, sure. I love pins and needles and knives and hooks and stuff like that. Let's hear it.
I think it comes with a raise too. We ask her to make you an official skilled hire.
Hey.
So we'll get all the details when we come back.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
money's good.
We don't want you to feel
I mean, I
like
don't really pay
uncomfortable
for
or
anything, but yeah, money's good.
Well, I mean, dude, if you don't pay anything, holy crap.
Yeah, no, I mean, what are they going to do? Fuck with the Rakdos? He kind of like stops and looks around. Is like, most people are scared of us.
Your ways.
even so, I was like,
but
just
yeah,
avoiding
I'm not
one,
like,
so
just as a note, I'm not like holding his shoulder anymore or anything.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
yeah, like, even so, there's a time and place to use that kind of thing. It's alright for now, but some people are confrontational with Rakdos. I'm pretty sure you know that.
Oh man, that's
I'm
always a good
trusting-
show.
So I'm trusting you, like, to like know when to keep your head down. All right,
Oh yeah, no man, I'm good with that.
and
Can I make
you'll have the money to back yourself up when that happens. It's like, all right,
I do like money.
just keep that in mind.
Could I do like a medicine check to tell like how end of the bottle he is at this point, or would that be more like an insight?
That would be insight.
Also,
Okay.
can I have a hit?
Oof.
Give me that one more time,
Um,
Grigum.
I said, also, can I have a hit?
Oh,
Point to his bottle.
yeah, sure. He passes you the bottle. What did you roll, Fairdeer?
That was a waste of 21.
21?
Yeah.
His eyes are clear and focused,
Okay.
and he's not slurring his speech. Grigum, do you take a swig of the bottle?
Absolutely.
You don't taste any alcohol.
Fuckers dream water.
No, it tastes like booze. You just don't taste any alcohol in it.
Now you're giving me mixed messages here. It's like, it tastes like booze, but it's no alcohol.
Yeah, it's like drinking like
Near beer or something.
near beer. It's like drinking what's it called? Non-alcoholic beer.
Gotcha. It's like,
It tastes like a cocktail or something
so,
like that,
okay.
but there's no actual alcohol.
so Cinderella, basically, where it's nothing but fruit juices.
I'd say Shirley Temple, but okay.
Well, okay.
In any case, I mean, maybe he just likes the flavor.
Like, I take a swig and then I look at the bottle. I look at him I'm like, clever bastard. And I give it back to him.
He's all, takes it. I have no idea what you're talking about, man.
I'm
And I just
literally gonna
chuckle
give him
and like give him a
Hey.
small shove, and I'm like, yeah.
Kind of stumbles a
You're
couple
right.
feet and like kind of half bumps into Ingrid. He's like pats on the shoulder, say, "Hey, pretty lady," and then he gets up and says, "So,
I'd like to do a quick perception to see if he did anything.
go ahead."
Character sheet. What? Mm. No, I'm just too enjoying this. So a 7 is not going to be any info.
Yeah.
He just kind of stumbled when you pushed him, leaned against Ingrid for a second, patted her shoulder, and called her pretty, and then kind of stood up, cracked his neck a bit. It's like, okay, so you guys got a hoity-toity meeting. I'm going to just kind of fuck around town for a bit. I'll meet y'all back at the Dancer's Skirt later. That sound good?
I heard there's some nice musical instruments and stuff in the market.
You need me to get you anything?
She hands him a couple gold. I was just thinking, since you were really helpful yesterday, if you saw anything you wanted to get. It might be a good way to pass the time.
He pulls out a little pouch from some... Start going through. It's like, adds the coins. I guess I could get some more grease paint.
I'm gonna give him like a tap on the shoulder.
He looks over at Ingrid. Sorry, not Ingrid. At Faraday, and it's like, hey man, what's up?
Sorry, I meant pat, not tap. Sorry.
Oh, okay. He's like, he pats back. He's like, I'll catch you later, and he wanders off at that point.
On towards the mansion.
Okay, so with that little side stop, because y'all kind of stopped walking when he showed up and y'all were having that interaction.
I told like, Ingrid, just go over your belongings again. And it's like, just in case.
Well, she checks a little bit, but not really expecting that from Reeve, but she'll check just for. Since
Yeah, and as a
asked.
note, I do have a passive of 19 perception.
Yeah. No, nothing's missing.
Since our fearless leader asked, I'll check, but she wasn't expecting it from Reeve.
It's like, Ingrid takes a second to give herself like a quick triple pat. It's like, purse, pack, clothes. Everything's still there.
Okay, it's like, at least we know he's loyal. Like,
so y'all finish the walk up to Farkeet Manor, and it's to the north. Y'all did not get to the north area in time for the battle, but you do pass through the remains of what happened, where there's scorch marks in the ground where these imp-like creatures apparently landed and exploded after a short period of combat. And there's damage to a lot of the buildings and stuff that are being actively repaired by Dark Elves and a few humans. A couple of them point you in the direction of the manor when asked. It's on a little adjacent stretch with the wall running behind it. Is this tall, imposing, dark wood building. There's no damage from the attack at all at it. It is a two-story building with it goes fairly far deep and actually seems to merge a bit with the wall at the back end, where it's possible that there may be a back entrance outside the wall. You're not sure. You'd have to go back there. But as you approach, the air is just like gets heavy and kind of damp, but also has this electrical energy to it. And you see what at first you think is just people in servants' outfits moving around, but as you get closer, like, you notice that a lot of them are like zombies and ghouls that are tending to the various like repairs and standing guard with large pikes that like go up almost an extra foot above what the normal height would be on a pike. They kind of like at you as you approach.
Make sure my emblem's out, because for one thing, I know that the undead are more likely to be programmed to listen to Golgari. And I say that Lady Farkeep has requested our presence, so we're going up to book a meeting.
They kind of like look at Ingrid, and then the kind of cataraxy eyes look at Fairdeer, and then finally Griggum. And someone's and lifts an arm, gesturing to the front of the manor.
He nods and does her little half curtsy and walks on past him.
I bow.
Brigham standing
Oh.
tall and just gives a firm nod and walks. It's like,
Okay, so y'all walk past the undead guards and up onto the porch, and it's a long porch. It goes the whole length of the building. There's no ground floor windows that you can see from here. A wide double set doors with this kind of inset leafing that has just etchings of vines and spiders and webbing and mushrooms up along the inside curve before the doors. Going up to the doors, it pulls open, and this very gaunt skeletal figure that just almost radiates magic opens it and looks to each of you. So, come in.
Ingrid will head on in.
I will follow Ingrid.
yeah.
Alright, so as y'all enter, the figure holds the door progressively farther open and tell everyone is, and then just slams the door shut behind you with a loud bang. The room that y'all enter in is this opulent receiving area. There is a table with this centerpiece of still living plant and fungal growth. There's chairs at various corners of the room, all plush, dark cloth and black wood. A pair of stairways goes to branching either to the left and the right and leads up to a 10-foot high balcony that looks down into the over area. The gentleman that lets you in now that you see is extremely skeletal and gaunt. Cloth wrappings go from his forearm down to his hands on each side, and he has bindings around his throat as well. He looks at you. The lady will see you shortly. Please make yourself comfortable.
Okay.
She'll look for a sitting area to sit at and kind of perch on the edge of the seat.
Once the guy leaves, I'm probably going to tap. I'm going to tap Ingrid on the shoulder. So, what are the do's and don'ts about dealing with Golgari royalty?
Well, they're not royalty. She may or may not technically be a noble. There's not too many of those in Golgari. She is probably an extremely long-lived elf. So, don't do anything super awkward. And don't be disrespectful.
Oh, I can do 2 out of 3. I'll let you do the chalking.
She'll probably lead the conversation mostly. I have a feeling.
Cool.
As y'all are talking back and forth, it's a little hard to place age on an elf, but you get the impression that she's in the younger range. This petite, almost Slavette, dark elf with dark, almost black eyes with a very light purple ring around them, enters the room, and she kind of turns to the servant that opened the door and nods to him before looking at you. She's dressed in this kind of almost spiderweb looking gown. It's very thin and gauzy, but it also has a black shelf of mushrooms that go up from the bust up and around the back of her neck and then up over the back of her head a little as a kind of reinforced neck piece. She has a set of what looks to be some sort of preserved rose set on one side. She's please come with me, and she gestures down one of the side hallways. And so we can talk in the library. And she leads the way down to like a single double door and holds it open for you.
Ingrid's eyes kind of light up because she like loves meeting in the library. So she'll nod and follow.
Same thing with everyone else?
Yep.
Alright, so you enter this grand, spacious library, floor-to-ceiling book stacks with a rolling ladder attached to the wall. There's several chairs set out that, while the chairs in the waiting room and the entryway were nice and kind of comfortable, these are thick and plush. These are meant to be sat in for hours reading. There is a low glow in the room that's kind of this bluish white from this large mushroom that just grows from the top of the ceiling with this glowing cap. Set on the table is a fairly large and odd-looking crossbow, as well as a very ornate-looking staff. You can't really place her age exactly, but you get the impression just from like her appearance and how she moves that she can't be more than like the elf equivalent of 17, 18. She goes and picks up this black jewel from the table and affixes it to the centerpiece of her dress, and her eyes just go completely blank for a moment as her entire physicality, like her stance, shifts, and then she turns back to look and says, "Ah, please, come, sit."
Do you mind terribly if my pseudo-dragon reads a little bit while we meet? He misses his library back home.
The books here are very, very private. This is my personal collection.
Oh, no worries.
I would prefer not to for now. Perhaps as our relationship grows, we can discuss access to my collection.
She'll go sit over with Watcher curled around her still.
And she kind of settles down into one of the chairs and looks at Griggum and Faradir and gestures to the other. "Please sit."
Sit down.
Well, setting.
So y'all have done us a great service and saved possibly the lives of many of our local town defenders. As a reward, I wish to bequeath these 2 items to you from our armory. And she gestures to the crossbow and the staff on the table. A beginning gift to welcome, and she looks to Ingrid, so, visiting nobility. How may I help you?
Well, we mostly stopped on request to make your acquaintance. We are hopefully setting back out soon. As it turns out, we've discovered there's a large lizard towards the west, a very large one, and we're going to investigate if that's part of the monster issues. So I don't think we have a particular request at the moment. We were just touching base locally.
She kind of nods slowly and then looks almost expectantly at Faradir and Griggum.
This is probably a stupid question, but we don't have like the equivalent of business cards or anything, right? Okay,
You have agency business cards. You
I don't
got
have business
10
card? No.
Oh,
from...
those, yes.
Yeah,
Cathal
okay,
gave you
I'm-
like 10 little cards with like the emblem and like the.
Yeah, it was either 10 or 20, something like that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and reach in, give one of the business cards, give it to her, and this is probably a lot more talking than I initially planned, but I think that it's
Like,
important
I
to
feel
say,
that
okay, we're part of the Second Side Agency. Grigum, if you
I'm
want to...
beginning to think that these cards are definitely a small bonus to those of us who don't have all those good like social interactions, just to look professional at least.
She
Yeah.
kind of takes the card between two fingers. So. Yes, we had heard whispers starting as of last night about a group of adventurers visiting the town. And she just kind of like, and the card vanishes. It's like, certainly is nice to have you here. We appreciate the help that you have provided. A large lizard, apparently. We were not aware of such a thing, but we tend to focus our attention on the village and the rot farm. We have to make sure we feed the world, after all.
Understandable. Just to make sure that we're all on the same page. As a Second Side Agency, we are an inner guild. We're trying to make sure that we serve the people of Ravnica and try to
She kind of
help
smiles
all
and holds
the
up a
guilds
hand.
of Ravnica.
So, you do not need to make the pitch to me, my friend. That is what we as the Golgari do, is serve the people of Ravnica. The swarm provides, after all.
Of course. And like on the Spy's Murmur, anybody want to step in? You gotta send that to Grigum.
I just shrug. It's like, what do you want me to say?
She kind of just keeps smiling and watching y'all. She's all, I believe
like,
you.
we're here to, like, out of character. We're here to just set up an appointment for dinner. Like, what's?
No, this is
Oh,
our
hold on.
meeting right here. This is our meeting.
Yeah.
She
Really?
smiles. It's like, oh, I suppose I do need to introduce myself. I am Leia Farkeeper, mistress of Farkeep, second daughter of Elon, and this is my village that you have helped save. I imagine that you are currently staying in the Dancer's Skirt. It is quaint and acceptable accommodations, but if you desire, I am sure we can find a room or two available for you all here in more appropriate setting.
I think there's a certain level of unrest that may come about with having adventures. It's somewhat disruptible to a household occasionally, and our current accommodations do let us hear the whispers of the people, so to speak. I cherish your invitation, and I would like to look towards furthering our relationship, and she gestures around, and perhaps even further library privileges as we get to know each other. But I think for now this might suit better until we deal with the current distractions.
She nods slightly. It's like, well, that is acceptable and understandable. If you change your mind or you have need of anything, please do not hesitate to come and alert me or speak to any of my children or our branch families throughout the city. Please know that you work here with my blessing and the blessing of the swarm.
Ingrid will nod at that, and she'll gesture towards the items and ask if she minds if she takes a look.
Oh, please, go ahead. So, which one are you looking at?
Take a look at the staff.
Alright, the staff is about 4 feet long, so it's a bit longer than a walking stick would be. It has intricate carvings in the dark wood of just various arcane nature, some of them blending into what almost looks like mapways of roads and cities and rivers. The cap at the top has a kind of orange-red metal that looks like one of the variations of Mizium that you've encountered. The foot of the staff has just a very thick iron-looking spike, like, for planting in the ground and stuff like that. It's very elegantly carved, and it's clearly very old.
These are quite gracious gifts.
They are the least that we can do for those who have driven off beasts that have... No, I'm not saying you did not drive them off. You slew beasts that have been harrying us for months. A month. And she just kind of sits back and holds her hands together, smiling at the group. There is a sound as the door opens, and that same attendant, the very almost skeletally thin elf that has the cloth wrappings on his arm and around his throat, steps in and holds the door open. So, your morning duties await, mistress.
Oh, right.
Well, we don't want to take up more of your time. Please pardon us, and hopefully we'll be able to check in with you at a later date.
She smiles a bit and stands. She removes the black gem from her dress, and like her physicality reverts back. Her stance and stuff reverts back to what it was before. She sets the stone down almost reverently on the table and looks around, nods to the attendant, and slips out the room. The attendant smiles, like it's a half smile. There's like the lips are very thin. He's like, the lady has determined that you are free to remain as long as you wish. Please do not disturb any of the library. But if you have need to visit at any point, please do not hesitate to do so. I am to see you out when you are ready.
To look around to them to see if they look like they're ready. She kind of imagines they'd probably be more eager to go. Are you on mute, Tex?
Obviously, I'm on mute, and also I'm obviously have the crossbow, and I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, I think we're mostly trying not to put our foot in our mouths here.
Okay, so, Fair Deer, as you pick up the crossbow, it is heavy. Like, it's a good, like, couple pounds more than you would expect it to be. And looking at, you notice that set inside of it is this kind of shifting lattice work of Mizium and silver that moves around as you hold it.
Okay. Yeah, for right now, I'm just gonna hold it. I think I'm gonna mess around with it later, but that doesn't seem like a good thing to do in a indoors. A lot of priceless objects.
I say we go back to our private rooms and maybe secure a few extra potions. She'll, as they're heading out, they're gonna head out, and then she'll suggest that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you indicate that you want to leave to the attendant, he holds the door open for you and gestures back down the way towards the waiting area where y'all came in, and he sees y'all out, closing the door behind you. A couple of the undead that are in the area turn to look at you, but don't actually move towards you or anything like that.
I think I'll just wave at him on the way out.
Out of curiosity, who is holding the quarterstaff?
I think I probably just picked it up because I was standing by it. If
Okay.
that works for everyone.
As you go out...
Yes, please do so.
Okay, as you leave the manor, you are suddenly aware of the exact direction and distance to the exact direction and distance to the dancer's skirt.
Yeah. Do you want to?
I'll make a note of that, and kind of once we're away a bit and talking, I'll tell him that it seems to be for locating direction and such. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Griggum for the walk. Since I have an understanding of the Undercity already, I'm going to pass the staff over to Griggum for the walk and ask if he wants to go get a couple more potions so we don't rely on Maine's potion so much if we need to.
Okay. Yeah.
Griggum, as you take the staff, you suddenly know the exact location of the dancer's skirt, how far it is, and how to get there.
Huh. Okay. Fascinating.
So I think we're going to run by the apothecary. And did Kay come with us, or did he stay at the hotel? At the dancer skirt? Okay.
I assume the case stays with Faradir unless I'm told differently.
Yeah.
So y'all are going to Farkeep Apothecary?
Yeah, could we look at taking a break?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Let's go ahead and take our 15-minute break. To everyone who's joined us today, thank you so much. We had a little bit of a rough start, but so far I've been having a lot of fun. I hope y'all been enjoying the show. We are going to do a dice giveaway. So let's see here now. Let me just get that up and running. So, as with our previous giveaways, if you are not in the United States, I'm sorry we can't ship out to you right yet. So this is only available to people in the United States. If you've won previously in the past 4 weeks, we would ask you not to enter to give other people a chance to win. We're giving away these blue and gold dice. So you're going to have about 15 minutes once we go on break to enter the giveaway. The command word to do so is !bonus, and hopefully the bot will do an announcement in the chat saying exactly what to enter and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think that's everything. Good luck to those of you who enter.
Don't enter it till the bot says to, just in case it tally counts yours twice or something. Just wait for the bot.
Yeah, if you enter more than once, it's just supposed to ignore any entry more than one time, but it may disqualify people, so just enter the code word once, just to be on the safe side. We're going to be back in about 15 minutes. Get a little snack, get something to drink, stretch your legs, because that's what we're going to be doing. Back in a bit. Bye. We are back. Hello, everyone. Sorry about that little bit longer of a break than we were expecting. Stuff happens. Sorry about that, though. It doesn't look like anyone entered the giveaway, so I guess we'll hold on to the dice and try again next week. If dice is not something that y'all are interested in getting on a giveaway, we can try doing other things like t-shirts or, I don't know, coffee mugs or character stickers or something. Leave us a message, whisper us, or tweet at us at Bonus Roll on Twitter what kind of merch that you think you would like to see given away, and we'll see what we can do about it. We really want to, give something to the community, drive our viewership, get more and more followers. But, yeah. Let's see here.
Disclaimer, we don't have any official t-shirt designs yet. So if turns out you really wanted a t-shirt, also send t-shirt ideas.
Okay, cancel, confirm. Okay. Well, that's freaking out. We will worry about that later. Anyway, let's see, where did we leave off? We left off with y'all having just left the Farkeeper Manor. I believe Ingrid was wanting to talk to Watcher.
Yes, I'm going to ask Watcher in common if he will attempt to talk to Kay about how he was healed by a healing potion, and ask him if he wants to hold a healing potion to break for someone if they get weak.
You're on mute.
You're on mute, but so is I. Watcher responds to the request with a mental image of Ingrid giving him a gold coin. You haven't been giving him a lot of stuff lately. He's a dragon.
I will give him a gold coin.
He kind of takes it, tucks it up under his wing, and then, looks at Kay. Kay looks up at Watcher, and there seems to be a back and forth for a moment before Ingrid gets a mental image of, a Saint Bernard with a potion bottle around its neck.
Dang it, I was about to say.
And so, Ingrid thinks about how she's been neglecting her poor little dragon's trinkets. And she takes some string from the burglar's pack, and she wraps it around her weightless block trinket, and she ties that to Watcher's neck as a pendant.
So, your weightless block is that little aerogel block square thing you got as your trinket, right? Okay, so, Watcher looks at, the little balloon almost, thing that you, and, just...
Do you want it?
He's not complaining, he's just, knocking it around.
It's got a tiny bit of weight now that it's got the string, but mostly it's weightless.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll head over to the apothecary.
Okay, so let's grab that. Alright, so y'all been to the apothecary before. It's a very low, squat building. There's a heavy medicinal scent in the air. Griggum, Fairdeer, y'all are going with Ingrid then?
Yep.
Alright, so y'all enter into the apothecary / hospital hospice. There's still a guard or two healing because it's been less than 48 hours in the back, as you can see. But Anumi, the kind of elderly apothecary that was treating the guards, is at the front. He's got his heavy wool cloak over him, and he's just writing in a notebook on the table. He looks up as he comes. Has your friend awoken?
Not yet. We're having him checked in on. It might be a bed rest issue. I'd like to get 3 healing potions from you. Just, we're kind of thinking of going on a bit of a hunting expedition.
Alright, so potions of healing, just the basic ones? Let's see here now. We've used a lot of our supply in treating the injured. And he starts flipping through his notebook for a second. I have 4 I can give you for 75 gold each. They're kind of in short supply right now.
It's a little bit of a markup. How about 2 of them for 80 total?
Roll persuasion for me.
And because it's a goods haggling, can I have my hordes proficiency?
Yeah, go ahead.
And that is not a good number. Comes out to 8.
He kind of looks up at y'all, flips through a few of the pages. So, y'all saved a lot of lives. I'll tell you what, I'll be good to you. I couldn't help your friend either, so I got 4 of them. I'll sell you them for 60 gold each. That's the best I can do, I'm afraid.
We'll take 2 at that rate.
Alright. So he kind of like shuffles over to like a stand on one of the walls and like pulls it open, and you can see like there's rows and rows of like empty glass vials. He pulls out 2 little shot glass sized ones with a cork stopper and shuffles back over and sets them down on top of the counter with a little click. And he's like, "Here you go. I'll be 120 gold."
And Ingrid will go ahead and pay him out of the party money. And, hey, Gregum, you want to trade me that other potion back?
Sure.
Or for a very legit healing potion?
I look at her. And I start going through my stuff. I'm like, I have a water skin. It's like,
Oh, remember she gave you one of Maine's potions as a backup plan?
The experimental potions, I think.
And they're not really made as healing potions?
yeah, like, I mean, out of character, I'm trying to think, what potion am I giving back? I have nothing.
After you used yours in the fight, she gave you one of Maine's experimental potions where the troll had handed y'all potions.
Did you? I was like,
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm trying to give you a legit healing potion instead of a maybe healing potion that is really made for other things and not to heal.
So basically,
I don't have it written down.
Oh, okay, it's fine. I may have not gotten it added to your inventory.
So
Things have been
I don't even
crazy.
remember you handing me anything. I just took a potion and that was it. It's like, I mean, I drank a potion to top off my health and that was it.
Yeah,
I don't remember being handed.
it's fine. You get another potion. Ingrid gets back her recreational potion.
and ties it to Watcher's collar and as a last minute, just in case.
Watcher now has 2 things tied to him, and he's like,
Now, only if someone goes
Okay.
unconscious with the potion, okay, Watcher?
he does not have thumbs, but he nods.
And I tie the other legit healing potion to Kay. Does Kay have a collar?
Kay has a collar.
To Kay's collar.
Okay, so you kind of like do a
So
ribbon
what
bow.
am I given again?
You got a basic healing potion, a potion of healing.
Let's see if I can figure out how to add that.
I can put it into your inventory later if you can't get it on your own. No worries.
It's just
Yeah, no,
you just search healing
no.
potion, it should show up. It's a regular inventory item.
Well, it's potion of healing, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to figure out how do I get to that menu.
On equipment under add items.
Manage equipment? Is it? Yeah, that there we go. That's it.
Yeah, manage equipment, potion, and I think.
Well, I know how to do it from there. I'm just saying I couldn't get the menu.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that puts all of us with a potion.
There we go.
Kind of.
Done.
I'll thank the guy and we'll head out. And I think y'all want to head back to the dancer's skirt, regroup with Reeve, and decide what we're doing about a huge lizard?
Something about a huge lizard? Is it?
Previously to this, Ingrid has been referring to the undead dragon that y'all encountered in the Underworks as a huge lizard.
Oh yeah, one of them did escape. Dang it, isn't it?
What's our out of the store to even say huge lizard to
I'm kind of curious about this crossbow.
Okay.
That I have in my possession. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and do an Arcana check on it.
Go ahead and make an Arcana roll.
Oof. That would be a 8.
8. You don't know too much about the techie stuff. You're a Simic, and so you're more experienced with like growing extra limbs and stuff. But it looks like it has like some sort of altered loading mechanism than the basic crossbows that you've encountered before.
let's not examine the shinies too much until we're in the privacy of our own room.
Okay.
We'll look over it more then.
Let's go back to the dancer's skirt.
Okay, so y'all return to the dancer's skirt. It's been about a morning. Y'all had like your breakfast, and then you had the lunch hour, the breakfast hour. Then y'all walked up. You spent some time at the Farkeep Manor and then the apothecary. So it's starting to get close to the lunch hour. Let's see, who is in there right now then? Lunch hour group is... Okay, not many people. Alright, so Lysney is behind the bar as she normally is, just talking to a few people that arrived early for lunch. Of note, Ingrid, you recognized that Jatil, one of the Whitfists from the Rot Farm, is at the bar talking with Lysney. There is that human, you assume human, the person with the mask and the knives, doing a kind of just warm-up dance on the stage. But there's not many other people. There's just a handful of common, laborers that are taking an early lunch.
Do we see Reeve in the dining room?
Actually, yes, you would see Reeve. He is kind of sitting back in the back, taking drinks from his bottle and chatting up Ileana while she just does bars on her little musical instrument.
I'll kind of like gesture and shrug to see if he wants to come with us to chat.
And he kind of looks over at Ileana and like raises the bottle to her and then gets up and kind of stumbles his way towards y'all, taking a couple sips, and it's like, so, how'd it go with the bigwigs?
We got some gifts, so that's good. And I don't think they're running us out of town on a rail. Nothing too embarrassing. So that's also good.
I don't think Rail could support us all.
No, not in his current state for sure.
And now that Reeve isn't distracting Ileana, you actually hear like background music start to pick up in the area. What you looking for, Tux?
Sorry. Looking at stats or something. Okay.
You don't have to be cryptic with the GM. Come on.
Anyways. I should be using D&D Beyond probably anyways.
So, let's head up to the room to chat so it's a little more private then.
Sure. Let's order some a meal to go inside though.
Leslie kind of looks up as you mention food, and she nods and stuff. You want me to have it sent up to the room, or you want it down here, hon?
Send up to the room, please.
Alright, I'll have Kelsa bring it up for you in a bit.
Thank you.
And she turns back to talking to Jithol. So y'all are trouncing up the stairs to which of the rooms? I'm assuming not the one where Rail is unconscious in?
Yeah, probably mine, since I think I'm not sharing with anybody.
Sure.
Okay. So y'all get in, and Kay kind of like woofs his way over and climbs up on the bed and just lays down.
So, thoughts on our big electric lizard, anyone?
I repeat that I think that we need to wait until we're at full capacity with rail. I think that
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even know where to begin with that, because I'll be honest, this is out of my field of expertise. That's why I'm working with you two. Well,
Do we think it has the coin?
Hmm?
We think it has the coin? Is that our current assumption, or
What?
don't know. It's just that we're looking for dungeons. We found one.
Yeah, we're looking for a vault, really, is the thing.
I mean, is it not? We don't know, but we found one, and at the very least we should cross it off the list. But my feeling is that we need to wait until Rail's back in commission so that we can go on. I don't see how us battling it is going to be any different than it was at the first time.
I mean, we know it's there. We know it's got some limited mobility. We have a chance to restock on stuff.
I don't think stock was ever the issue. I think we need more firepower.
From looking at it, did we think it was undead or just bony?
It looked skeletal.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I know what we're talking about now. Holy shit. I thought we were talking about the lightning lizards that had crawled over the wall that we've been
I think
against.
With the
We're talking about the skeletal dragon thing that we found when we lifted the crate off the ground. Okay, yeah, no, now I'm caught up. Fuck that thing.
I mean, if Fairdew thinks we need to cross off exploring that area before we look for any other areas that might have a coin, but doesn't think that we can explore that area until we have Rail awake, then we are at somewhat of an impasse.
I mean, we could certainly... Sorry.
Like, as it stands, that's the spot that we need to circle, highly probable, because there's an undead thing there, and it's so far, our connection to understanding what's going on with these coin things is that they are tied to undead things. I mean, the last person we fought for this coin was some form of undead entity, or at least unliving.
I do think it's highly
So-
likely that it has the coin
I'm
or
saying it's a
access to the
possibility.
coin.
I'm saying it's possible, but not like so far. It's mere coincidence. This is an assumption here. It's like,
Yeah.
we have no direct correlation yet. It's like I have at least nothing in my notes. It's like it
But
was something that was discussed and I didn't hear it. Then you have it in your notes. Sure. Okay. Great. Okay, fine. It's like,
Fairdeer thought we should try to cross that off the list before we look at any other place.
Not necessarily before.
we're not crossing it
some point.
off. We have to Google it and say, hey, high potential point. It's like,
Yeah, I'm just saying that even if the coin's
We
not
should
there, a dragon horde is not going to hurt us.
yeah. The thing
The
is,
end of
we
it.
also need to keep an eye. We need to see if there are other hotspots around this city,
That sounds
town,
good to
whatever
me.
it is,
I would say that either keep it.
that are potential.
I would say this. If we think there might be other hot spots, why don't you and Fairdeer investigate and I will try. No, it's probably bad timing. I think it might try to come after us, so I don't think I should leave the area. I was saying there's, I have access to maybe
come
an
after
older
us?
library.
Who thinks a skeletal dragon will come after us?
Yes. That's why I was
Why?
nervous about us staying in town.
Can I do a nature check?
To find out what?
Basically, I know that it's probably pretty common knowledge about dragons and guarding their hordes. I'm assuming that's like a thing.
Go
I
ahead
was
and make
wondering if I can do a check to kind of get more specific on that.
make me a history roll.
That sounds good. Okay, that's going to be a 19 history.
19. While it is not fairly common knowledge, you do have access to information beyond the normal keen. And one of the things that in your training you were made aware of is that when he rose to power, Ms. Nevitt killed every dragon that he considered a threat to himself. And so the majority of the dragons that remain alive are either the very mutated offspring, such as like the drakes and the hellkits, that are maybe the size of a large horse to an elephant at most. And that while there are a few actual dragons, most of them are fairly low intelligence, capping out at like human average intelligence for the most part.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like his. Also, so out of that history, do I know like how long ago it was when Mesnet killed all the dragons?
He actively kills any dragon that he is aware of that he considers a threat.
Okay.
Like proactively.
Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking that this dragon is going to stay put for A, not trying to be discovered by Mesnet, and B, that I think that their instinct is going to be guarding their territory rather than going after a bunch of people who may have shot it in the face. And continue
But it
cheering
was
them.
all like, I'll see you guys again, and
Yes, typically when
Well, it's
people
more
try
like-
to steal a dragon horde and they run away, they tend to come back.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's very, very obvious, probably to it, is that we did not expect it. And it probably there's a big difference between explicitly looking for it and not looking for it. And I think it has every reason to think that, oh, they just stumbled across me. I give them a good scare. They just stay the fuck away.
Exactly.
They certainly weren't prepared for me.
I
wonder
just,
if the person who wrote Run survived.
I think
What?
that
On the door, you saw the numbers and stuff.
No.
Well, I mean, if you look at the traditional common alphabet, it looked like it said run.
On the door that
Numbers?
led to
What?
the pipeway that led down to the underworks vent system that y'all were in, there was a door with a series of numbers carved in it.
That seems too complicated.
You probably cut out before I could hear that description. So I guess I never learned that.
Okay, in any case, I think that we should put a pin on the attacking the dragon until we're back at full force and we kind of have a moment to familiarize ourselves with our new acquisitions, and I kind of give the crossbow a bit of a, indication or whatever. I do agree that we probably want to spend some downtime doing research, but I really don't feel like starting picking fights with the dragon until we're at a significant advantage to where we were before.
If y'all don't think it's going to come, I do have one errand to run, which I would be back from in about 6 hours. The use of subways, maybe the rest of the evening, since we're at lunchtime-ish. I mean, I guess y'all could come if you wanted, but it might look better to our Demir anti-lava overlord if we kept a presence.
Okay. Honestly, I'd be feel a little better if you had an escort, but we're a little low on manpower.
Well, I can't promise you would be entirely 100% safe if you escorted me, but you'd probably be mostly safe. Like, you could sleep it off kind of safe.
I think I'm going to stay here. If you have a errand to run, I guess that's your business. Again, in a perfect world, I'd like to have one of us go with you and then two remain, but unfortunately with one of us unconscious, that's not really an even split anymore, so I think that we'll just stay here and then you go about your way.
I would probably be taking as quick a tram as I could that direction.
Yeah.
Of note, there are, of only one substation here, and it's run by the Demir.
Yeah, I kind of feel...
You don't know if they will let you use it.
I know that we can whisper to get in touch with Asham and find out.
Eventually, it basically has to work its way up the chain to him, because you're not within a mile of him.
Okay, well, I guess I'll look at the two objects with Arcana while we're here.
Okay, go ahead and make an Arcana roll for each.
Do you want to help me since you're a caster, Fadir?
Certainly.
Um, 22 on the first one, which will probably be the staff.
Okay.
And only 13 on the crossbow.
Okay, so the staff you already took a look at, it's very elegantly carved, and again, as you take it in hand, you know the precise method of reaching the dancer's skirt, which is pretty easy for you right now because you're literally in the place. The carvings don't really seem to mean much to you, though you recognize the caps at one end of it as Misium, the Is It created alloy.
Does it look weapon worthy or ornamental?
It looks like it could hurt someone if you hit them with it hard enough. Yeah. It looks like it's not a walking stick by far. It is a quarterstaff. The crossbow, looking it over, it's very techy. Like, you see a number of contact points where there is Mizium holding pieces together, and it has this almost globe-like piece in the center that has this spiraling filigree of silver, gold, and Mizium, and as you hold it, it kind of rotates. And looking at it and thinking about it, you notice that like the filigree starts to rotate in specific patterns when you look at it and concentrate it in certain different methodologies.
You may want to go to the market fair there and get yourself some bolts. I think perhaps for now, while they're group rewards, if you'll hold on to the crossbow for shooting, and if Griggum, you'll hold on to the staff. It looks like this thing is more than decorative. I think it should be something you could find useful.
You do also get the impression from, while they both have features that you seem to be able to access just by holding it, there feels like a presence to them, a bit more like something that you could attune to, both of them.
And we can always find out more from Spanner when we get back up to the upper city and find out more about them. But I think if y'all hold on to them for now, especially if I do run an errand, that would be most useful. She's going to reach out on the Spies Murmur and ask if there's anyone local that could authorize a leave and a return from the transit depot, or to check with Asham.
Okay, so you send that out. You don't get an immediate response, but that's not unexpected either.
Yeah, just as a note, I think that we should probably at least escort her down to the tram station, since that way has been hostile before.
Well, we need permission first, so I think that's a bit of a waiting game also. So if we want to wait on the big lizard, and we need to wait on my trip, I think it's all down to investigation. But we've established there's no libraries or books available. So does anyone have anything on their personal agenda they'd like to work on?
I'd like to figure out this crossbow. The other thing is that we probably also need to get in the good graces of her ladyship, because if there's anybody in this town that would have reference materials to such a thing, it would most likely be her. And she has that private library. I don't know what subjects there are, but if we, as far as getting information, that seems like that would be the most non-zero answer.
If we can't get transit, I may have access to Lady Almaru. I'm going to say her name wrong, so you know, I'm just going to go to the wiki real quick.
Omarona.
May have access to Lady Omarama's library for some additional research. She lives a lot closer to our headquarters than here, though.
I don't know who that is, and I have a feeling that I don't want to.
Oh, okay. Well, that gets rid of all the sticky explanation parts.
Just sort of like, I know you're a warlock, and that sounds like something that I want no part of.
She's introduced herself as a shaman, actually, in all the times. Because that's the Golgari call all spellcaster shamans.
Okay, never mind then. But anyways, that...
But you know she has referenced working for someone before. Yes.
Okay, so Faraday, you spend some time attuning to the crossbow. Grigum, are you going to spend some time attuning to the quarterstaff?
I mean, I guess so. Like,
I'm gonna run out and get some
Like,
bolts from the market.
I don't even know what it does. It's like,
Well, if you check your inventory, you will now see it in your inventory and what it does. Same thing with you, Faraday.
Oof.
Let me make sure that worked properly for yours, because I had some issues with that.
I'll
Yeah, it worked.
wait for it to show.
Okay, yeah.
You may have to refresh.
Yay! Yes. Whoa, what? Holy crap.
You want to tell people
Just
what
let
it
me know
does?
when I got it.
You should have it already. It should be green under your equipment list.
So
I've only got Eyes Murmur. It's like,
So I have a crossbow that is definitely illegal in New York and California.
Let me refresh
try
your page,
reloading and
Grigum.
see if that fixes anything.
Yeah,
It's like,
it should be there. Because I'm seeing it on
I've only
yours.
got Spies Murmur. I'm reloading now. Maybe that'll fix things.
Faraday, if you want
so-
to go and tell people what it does while I work on figuring out why it's not showing up for Grigum.
I actually
Okay,
wanted to check
I
if
see it. It's like,
Yeah.
also for some reason it's already attuned. Like what?
Yeah, I asked you if you wanted to attune with it, so I went ahead and attuned you to it.
Wait,
Well,
so
I was waiting for it to show up so I could do it. But okay.
Oh, sorry. I like doing things when we're players.
a couple of questions.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Does this use bolts or?
It uses bolts.
Okay,
So,
I think there's a few things that need to be changed on this description, but that's fine.
yeah, like it's still... No, it says bolts, doesn't it? Yeah, it says
It
bolts.
is ammunition firearms.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Okay.
because I only have certain tools to work with until I can actually create my own non-magic items on D&D Beyond to then make magic.
Sure. So, okay. So, what I have is a repeating crossbow. It's an is-it contraption that fires out bolts at a startling rate. It does 2d8 piercing damage and costs 2 bolts per attack. Crossbow can have up to 12 bolts loaded, and it costs an action to reload. An ancient mechanism is housed within the weapon that never configures the same way twice. Once per long rest, the bearer can spend 1 minute to attempt a DC 20 investigation check to configure the device. If successful, the weapon becomes a +1 weapon until the end of the next long rest. So is this magic or purely mechanical?
It's a fusion. The repeating crossbow functions as a mechanical function, but if you unlock the mechanism, it is also a magic function.
Okay. So, out of character, I'm probably going to need all that description in text for me later because I only caught bits and pieces of it. But yeah, look. So I don't have master.
Yours is not nearly as complicated,
Okay.
Grimes.
No.
Yeah, mine so complicated. It is a +1 staff. The bearer always knows the direction of the nearest tavern in a 60-mile radius. Whenever the bearer crits with this weapon, it gains the reach property 10 feet for 1 minute. If it already had the reach property, increase its reach by 5 feet. Which is why I'm like, I don't have full arm master. It's like, odd. Okay.
But every time you crit with it, it gains another 5 feet of reach.
Which means I can't attack in melee at that point.
It's much better in open area, but yeah.
Yeah, so if I crit and I'm in a narrow space, I'm like, well, shoot, I'm going to have to drop the weapon. Because,
It's because it
something
has
like
a
that.
reach doesn't mean he can't still hit close, does it?
Well, I mean, reach property, as far as I know, you can't attack adjacent, right?
You're on mute.
If you have
to
reach-
still use-
Okay, your base thing is you can attack someone within 5 feet of you. After you crit, you can attack someone within 10 feet of you. If you crit again once you hit that, you can attack someone within 15 feet of you. And that continues building up until the end of combat. Or for 1 minute. So basically, if you hit someone with 3 crits, you can hit people 20 feet away. Think the monkey staff.
Yeah, think of it as the staff in the giant
I'm sorry. It's like I am absolutely sorry. It's like I thought, like most other things, this stuff only applied once.
No, this continues building.
That this could actually. I did not think this could continuously trigger. So this is unlike so many D&D things.
No, you have the opportunity. This can get ridiculous if you roll really, really good, because I believe in rewarding my players that roll really, really good.
But yeah, once it starts getting reach, I probably relying on unarmed strikes for
close range
adjacent combat. And it's like,
but keep in mind that also increases your threat range for if things are moving out of your attack of opportunity zone. So if someone's 20 feet away from you,
have that. Okay.
Yeah, if someone's 20 feet away from you, you have 20-foot reach, and they move to attack, you can jab them in the back with the stick. Did you want to...
No,
go ahead.
Wow, it's like, yeah.
Tux, were you going to try...
Sorry.
Tux, were you going to try and solve the enigma today?
Basically, I need a 19 or a 20, so this is not likely to happen, but yeah. No.
Okay. So you look at it and you kind of spin the dial around and nope, don't get it.
On the way to the market, can I belatedly do an Arcana or a history check to see if I know of any customs that are items that would have the effect of whatever her black gem was?
That would definitely be an Arcana check.
I rolled a natural 20, so 23.
Okay, you do not know the exact methodology of it, and you haven't had a chance of examining it, but you are aware that there are several methods of prolonging life, transferring awareness, or creating a new body, and you suspect it may have been under one of those. It's definitely necromantic, and it was definitely a very powerful magic. Please tell me I wasn't muted. Okay.
Yeah. She nods and feels like that kind of makes it click a little bit why the elf was so young, and heads on to the market to look for some bolts while they're concentrating at home.
Okay. So, let's see. The marketplace, like most of the other places in Farkeep, does not have, a name. The only building or business you've encountered that is actually named more than Farkeep blank was the Dancer's Skirt. So this place is simply referred to as the Farkeep Marketplace. It's not too far from the Dancer's Skirt and is located in a large kind of circular plaza. Vendor stalls are separated into wooden stands, and there are various imported goods on about half of the market, and the other half is selling local goods such as meat from creatures that were hunted nearby, or goods from the Rot Farm. You see a handful of people just milling about shopping, a few merchants, and a guard standing at attention, even though he's taking an occasional pull from a water skin near the open entryway.
I'd like to mill about myself, see if I see any bolts, and I'd also like to keep an eye open for if I see any exotic pets or mounts.
Okay, so you're looking for bolts first. Yeah, you managed to find a couple bolts. How many are you looking for?
I'm looking for 40 of them and 2 bolt boxes.
Okay, so 40. Where is that at? Ah, there it is. That's 2 rounds of that. Okay, so the shopkeeper just kind of like sets out the cases, looks up at you, and is like, 3 gold.
She'll go ahead and just pay asking price on that. That seems about what it should cost for the bolt cases and bolts.
So he takes the coins, pockets them, and wishes you well. Now, what kind of exotic creatures were you looking for specifically, like mounts or pets?
Yeah, more like the more towards the mount category. I know traditionally the Horde Master discount is based on the normal mounts that you would find in the adventurers stuff, but she's still going to look around to see what they have. See if she can make a deal on something if she really wants one.
Okay, so the Undercity is not particularly well suited to the mounts and riding animals that you would have above ground. What you find is a human merchant who has these 2. It looks something like a cross between a grasshopper and a horse. It has very bowed, powerful looking hind legs and sturdy looking front legs. Its back kind of arches down a little bit, like it has like a saddle almost naturally born into it, and it has like a pair of feeler antennas, and it's like as you approach the creatures. Those are about the only thing you see.
And just out of curiosity, how much do those go for, and how many are there?
There's 2 of them in the stall, and they go for... Where are you at? I wrote that down because... Okay. Okay, and then it would be 60 gold each. The merchant informs you. They're fully trained. They are not carnivorous. They will listen to commands. Very good at traversing the rocky terrain.
Now, out of character, is this something I could still try to apply my bargaining for a mount or a vehicle on and do the roll to see if it works? Or is this like nada for that skill?
You can use it if you want to. Or you can attempt it. That's the 50% off, right? Okay.
It's a kind of use it or lose it ability. And she's been kind of wanting something that is fairly fast for when they want to visit places. So let's see what it runs. Do the trams usually allow you to take a mount, or is that usually not allowed? Are you muted?
Yes.
They don't normally like it when you bring horses and stuff on. They have specific transports for moving animals that are not the publicly used transports.
Yeah.
I clicked on the wrong book. That's what was wrong. Equation. Okay, so my Hordes Master thing says that. Well, first off, have I seen any type of boarding or stable-like area around the tavern?
No, not really. There's The person that's selling these would be like the person that would be putting them up for you as well. He runs the stablery, finery, whatever it's called.
Well, she kind of figures if they end up leaving through the substation, it's not like anyone else is going to be on the tram with her. So she thinks she can get it one way to her patron and worry about it from there. So I'm going to go ahead and try to negotiate for just one of them.
Okay. Go ahead and make your roll.
So I get my proficiency on negotiation for goods, and I need a DC 15 persuasion check.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have persuasion trained, so there's no overlap on it.
Mm-hmm.
So... Oh.
Only a 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Sorry, he kind of looks and says, I'm sorry, these are very rare beasts. I hatch and hand raise each one. Only a few are available each season. These are the two finest ones I have. But either one of them would be a wonderful mount for you, though.
What's their movement speed?
Make me a nature check. Or unless you're asking him.
I'll do a nature check.
Okay.
There's a 4 and I can't tell.
They look pretty damn fast. Like, those back legs look like they can move.
Check my personal funds here. I am going to get one.
Okay, he kind of, like, gets a harness and it's like a bitter bridle, but it doesn't have the mouthpiece. Instead, it's like two straps that wrap around its head. And he kind of situates it, and he gives you a quick once-over on how to mount it and how to steer it, and its commands like stop, go, faster, slower, and stuff like that. Because it has this chitness outside, you can't really use, like, with a horse where you can squeeze its sides to make it go faster, so you have to issue a command to it.
If the business ends up using it, they can just pay me a per mileage cost for its wear and tear. I'll probably take it home to my patron first. So we'll go ahead and get that with my personal funds for now. And I'm going to leave him with 5 silver for boarding. Does that sound about right?
Okay. He has you get on it and walk around a little bit to get used to like how it moves to make sure you can handle it. And you get the impression that, oh, this thing is actually kind of fast. Like 10 feet per second fast.
She's been wanting one, like an underground bug mount, ever since she saw, that Dev Karen on the Scorpion back at the Capitol. So, she's been called a noble today. She feels like it's really time to get herself a present, so she's going to get it.
Okay, that's definitely fair.
Besides, they might get killed by a dragon anyway. Might as well spend my reserve a little bit.
Dear is judging you.
Dear does not even know this happened. Only her and Watcher know. It's a secret.
Felt a disturbance in his animal handling force.
But no, a quick math does something in the neighborhood of 36,000 feet in an hour. I don't know how much that is in miles.
Well, you said 10 per second, so that would be a moving speed of 60 per round if it's not sprinting?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like it's fun, and she just really wants a bug mount because they're a great status symbol, and she got called a noble for the first time today, so she's getting one. And she's going to head back with the bolts.
Okay, so you give the guy 5 silver to stable the dromid, and I will put the stats for that on your sheet later because I have to finish statting it up. So you return to the inn. Reeve is back downstairs, chatting with just various people, telling stories, performing small tricks, busking a bit. What are y'all doing?
Screw me, Kay.
Okay.
Actually, I'll probably be in the common area, just kind of people watching, I guess.
Oh, I broke it down at 6 miles per hour on the dromids.
Okay.
So not like, car fast, but decent speed. Alright, so Kay, Faradir, and Reeve are kind of hanging out down in the tap room. Gregum, you just attuning with your staff and meditating?
Oh?
Hi. So, Ingrid went shopping. Faradir and Reeve have been hanging down in the tap room. Is there anything that you are wanting to take care of in that downtime?
What? I can't think of anything I can do, really. I'll just
Well, I
meditate,
mean, I went while they were attuning, so
Oh, yeah. So
they should. So I mean,
they would be finishing up, maybe, because it's a short walk to it, and then you had to, talk to people, negotiate, get, the feel of riding the dromid, and stuff like that. So, they probably finished their attunement, maybe 10 minutes before you arrived.
y'all have any ideas for research on the area? Otherwise, I think we should check in either the local guard captain or the local smith to see if any other attacks happen, how they best organize people normally. So, we're not just running out in our nightgowns to help join.
Sure. You guys do that. Honestly, what I just want to do is I want to get one pack of bolts and go to the guard training area and practice.
Well, Ingrid picked up 2 cases of bolts, which is something like 40 bolts, and the guard training area, the barracks, quote-unquote, is where you would probably find Rathin.
Okay. I'm gonna go there and then ask if I could borrow their archery training area for a little bit.
Anyone?
So that's one of the people I suggested talking to. So she's going to be like, Faradir's being supportive. He's going with me.
Gregum, are you accompanying them to the barracks?
Sure. I may as well.
Alright. So the quote-unquote barracks is basically a low, one-story building that is all one room on the inside with a desk at the far end and a few cots for active duty guards to be sleeping in. For the most part, anyone that is really a guard here that is not specifically sent here has their own home in town. But Rathin is there. He doesn't have his gold armor on, and now you can see underneath it, he's not super muscled, but he does have a good physique for a elf, which tend to be more lithe. He definitely has a higher strength than dexterity. He's working on repairing some minor tears in armor and stuff like that as you approach. And he's like, hello. I was told that y'all went and visited Mother today. I take it it went well.
Certainly. Sorry to bother you, but is there any way I could get some time on the archery training yard?
Yeah, we can definitely set up the targets for you.
Cool. I just want to make sure I don't accidentally hit somebody's house or something.
That would be preferable, yes. Is there anything else I can help you all with?
Well, just kind of seeing your usual deployment strategies. If these attacks do happen, so we're not just running out in the middle of the night.
Oh, well, generally, we have guards stationed around the wall, and if they see an incursion, they sound the alarm, and then retreat to a safe location until backup arrives. It would be... I mean, if you are wanting to take a couple rounds on the watch tonight, we'd be happy to have you.
Sure, I can do that. Do you need a hand with that mending?
He's all, nah, I'd like to. It keeps busy in the quiet hours. He's kind of sets down like just the leather patch that he's working into the armor's holster, and he goes and round the back of the building. Comes back a couple minutes later. So, all right, I set up the training target for you.
Cool. And then I'm gonna go out there and just try to get a feel for it, what the kind of the ranges are. I mean, that sort of thing. Because, I mean, I have a stat block in front of me, but realistically, I think he would want to spend some time to actually get to know that himself.
Alright, so basically all that happened was that Rithin went around back behind the place, and he set out this kind of... It's shaped a little bit humanoid, but just only in the vaguest sense. Block of wood with straw behind it, and it has like a couple target points placed on it. How far away you stand from it is basically up to you. There's no real like yarding set up for this. You get the feeling that most of the training is like one-on-one and more duel-based than shooting at targets or striking dummies.
I'm probably going to use my 50-foot rope.
Mm-hmm.
Almost kind of like the naval nautical system. Just kind of basically, okay. So I'm going to like set it at like a 40 feet, 60 feet, 120 feet.
Okay.
So on and so forth.
So you kind of lay out a range marker set.
Yeah, not precise markers, but so that I can kind of get a spread of
40, 50, 60, that distance, yeah.
Yeah, and just see, how it handles at different kind of ranges.
Okay. So which range are you going to start at? You get the feel from this that you're going to be most accurate in the, anything from like 5 feet out to 120 feet. Anything closer than 5 feet is going to be a little difficult for you just because of how difficult aiming is against someone at that close of a range.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is this range accurate?
You can... As it is you can get a straight roll at 40 feet, and at 120 feet, you're rolling at disadvantage. Anything past 120 feet, you're just shooting into the wind at. This is very much a weapon that you get the impression is intended for mid to close range combat, not long range combat.
Yeah, that's not that bad because I'm probably just going to keep my bow and arrows just in case. So yeah, just going to spend some time. Probably at least consume 1 box of ammo.
Alright, go ahead and I'm assuming you're staying up at like the 40-foot range once you get everything measured out. Go ahead and make an attack roll for me.
Sure.
Don't forget to roll to recover ammo if you can.
That's gonna be 16 plus. I think it's still 7. 23.
Okay, so roll 2d8 piercing. Plus
Okay.
3.
I'm not hitting anything, am I?
You're hitting the target.
That's gonna be 8 plus... Shit. What was it?
Plus 3.
Okay. Um, 11.
11. So, like, the first arrow, and then almost immediately a second bolt, shoot, and it's like you have just a little bit of recoil from the first shot, so that the second shot doesn't hit the same bolt that you just fired, but it fires two per instant, and it breaks through the wood and gets caught by the hay behind it.
Okay. That's... I'm going at short range. It's going to be a little over.
Okay.
Penetrating.
Like,
yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, the wood and the hay gives a good impression of, like, you know, the difficulty of punching through armor. It's probably not as resistant as metal armor, but you get the feeling that this could do some real damage, especially against someone that's not wearing a lot of heavy armor.
Yeah. And I'm gonna kind of just do it at like 50-foot intervals to kind of get a sense of, okay, this is the range where it's still lethal, and at this range it's just I'm wasting ammo.
Yeah, you get out to about 120 foot. You're actually having to take time to aim it at that range. Anything past that, it's just like it doesn't seem to have enough power to even reach the target. But still,
Okay.
it's a pretty good distance on a ranged attack, especially one that has like such a high punch.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say that I probably use at least 15.
Okay, since you're not in an active combat and this is not a hardened target,
Oh yeah.
since I'm assuming on average you are unlikely to roll there's only a 1 in 20 chance of you rolling a 1, and this is not a hard target to hit, you probably are not going to end up breaking or overly damaging any of the crossbow bolts, so you can retrieve most of them. I would say
Cool.
one of them goes bad and hits like the wall and gets kind of broken on the shaft.
Okay. Just keep it at 39. That sounds good to me. Okay.
Meanwhile, Ingrid has realized that she's still all like super dressed up, and she blushes about that. And she says she probably should go home and change into something else before her guarding the wall later tonight.
Oh yeah. Also, the mushrooms and stuff. Could you take it off?
Are you gonna go ask her?
Yes.
Just change into your other outfit, and then you're still prepped for either situation. You have to knock them off. They're just real mushrooms. You don't want them, just knock them off.
Okay, I do so.
So basically, like, Faraday, like, pull it off and, like, it's a little slimy, but none of the stuff is difficult to remove.
Okay.
Ingrid's gonna go back and change into regular clothes probably if Faradir's gonna be practicing for a few hours, and just have some restful time and maybe practice her persuasion skills by chatting with people around the tavern until she wants to go take a wall shift in the late evening.
Okay, go ahead and make me a... I guess insight. Yeah, make me an insight roll. Or, no, investigation. Just to find out what information you find out while you're chatting people up.
15.
15? You get to talking with people about, like, standing the guard and stuff like that. A couple people chuckling. It's like, so are you heading towards the market? Is Darkon still drinking out there? He's the guard that's supposed to be doing stuff, but it's so quiet out there, he's usually drunk by lunchtime, so...
Well, now that I'm an honorary member of the guard tonight, you can't tell guard secrets.
Are you going to be guarding out at the Rot Farm with Rodana? She's got a pretty good sword arm, but if you're standing at the wall, I mean, just make sure you're not at the south end. That's where, like, the big, tough ones have been coming from more than anything else.
Oh, yeah, I'm probably going to go to the south end.
Good luck to you, girlie.
At least, I have a little bit of sparkly warning magic or something. It could come in handy.
Well, I mean, anything that gets this advanced warning, I mean, they don't normally attack 2 days in a row, but you never know. Maybe word got out with y'all being so tough that we're going to have a couple days quiet time now.
Well, at least the monsters don't speak common.
I don't think so.
Okay, I've probably finished up. So we're hitting dinner time?
Yeah, it's getting close to, like, the evening dinner hour now at this point. Especially after, like, walking around, visiting people, talking with people, ogling beefy elves, and then shooting at stuff.
Okay, so what's the guard duty situation?
Ingrid volunteered for a guard duty round. I don't think she volunteered anyone else, but y'all can join her if y'all want.
Sure. Honestly, I don't think we've had a real, like, physical day today, so I probably...
I don't need the traditional 8 hours for spells. And we've been getting a lot of rest during the day today, so I figure I'm probably good for doing a guard duty today. It's not something I'd want to double time regularly with us walking around, but I feel like she can pull a shift, and I feel like she's the one that's most concerned about the big lizard coming after them, so she wants to be on the wall to kind of she wants to be either on the west or the south wall, but she'll take south wall for tonight.
Stupid. Yeah, this is the night shift. Yeah, I'll join you.
Okay, so I have to point out, even if you have not had a very physically demanding day, if you do not take a long rest every 24 hours, you do suffer a level of exhaustion.
Yeah, she's just going to go in early evening and do like a 4 to 6 hour stint, and then try to get back and get at least 6 hours sleep.
Okay, same thing with Fairdeer?
Yeah, I'm thinking this is total going to be like a 16, 18 hour day, but...
If you want,
like
I can wake you up when I get back and you can go.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying, like you said, this isn't something that I would do normally, but we honestly haven't really gone around a lot and stuff, so I think that in character I would have the reserves to do that.
Okay.
He's saying you have to apply the time either way, basically. That's what the GM's saying.
Yeah.
But do you want to take the same watch times, or the watch times when I get back?
I guess when you get back.
Because I was going to go early evening and do about 6 hours there, and then go home for 6 hours, or to the end for 6 hours. So I can just wake you up when you've had some sleep, if you go to bed early.
That sounds good.
Okay, Grigum, are you going to be taking a shift on one of the walls, or are you just going to be chilling tonight?
I mean, I may as well. Like, if everyone else is doing it, I may as well give it a go. Like, there's no harm in doing it. It's a...
Okay, so after a dinner provided by Lesney again, the same kind of meal style, though it's different sauces and meats each time. And the dinner ones are sweeter generally. Ingrid heads off to the southern wall after checking in with Rithin to let him know that she's taking a run there. And the rest of y'all start your break rest. Can I have Ingrid go ahead and make me a perception check?
think we got a 10 and a 4. Watcher really did bad. Watcher got double ones.
Watcher is going like
Yeah.
with his little neck toys that you've given him.
I gave him a horde, and that's my own fault.
But you watch out over the wall for a good 4 to 6 hours and don't really see anything. You don't have the best dark vision,
Yeah, that's also the problem.
but you have good enough night vision that like you would like see something coming approaching the wall after some point. You don't see anything though. So you head on back, and who are you going to tap for the next shift?
I think they said they both wanted to do it, so both of them.
Well, I assume
At the same time?
Well, if it's like 6-hour shifts, and we're doing like a 12 hours total.
yeah, this is the equivalent of like 4 a.m. She comes and wakes y'all up.
I feel like Grigum wants the noon shift with the guard that drinks.
Well, that's in the
I'm
market.
I'm just going to point that out. That I think I'm going to take the other night shift.
Well, I mean, I'll wake Grickham up and ask him if he wants to do a night shift or if he wants to wait and do a day shift tomorrow.
So it's like 4 a.m. Ingrid comes in and like taps each of you on the shoulder.
Day shift. It's like,
Okay, good night.
actually, no, wait. I have dark vision. It's like, but so does Faraday. Sorry,
Alright.
never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just take day shift.
Okay, Faraday, are you going to the south wall or one of the other walls?
Probably the south wall if that's the one that's attacked the most.
That's the one where the heavy hitters have been hitting, for the most part. But most of the other directions have had incursions of one sort or another. Most of the ones coming from the east are undead or plant-like creatures that are trying to leave the rot farm, it seems.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that one because I don't trust myself in distinguishing between good undead and bad undead. So I'm probably going to leave that to others and hit up the south wall.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
And I'm with Kay.
Okay,
So
and
should
you
I-
rested beforehand, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oof. Okay, I got a. Wait, was this perception?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. 24 for me.
24?
A
Okay.
natural 20.
Yeah, natural 20, and you have a passive of 19 as well, so it is
Yeah,
automatically
okay.
lower DC.
Yeah, and Kay got like a 21.
For those of you who don't know, if I don't use passive perception for something, if you have a decent passive, I will generally lower the DC to acknowledge that your character is more aware of your surroundings. That's just something I do, not all DMs will do that. Faradir, your standing guard is like about 4 a.m.-ish when you get out there and you're standing there, you're watching over the gateway, as well as a good arc of the wall to the east and the west. You can see, kind of very vaguely in the distance, large forms moving into the eastern area, following along the edge of the wall towards where the rot farm is, and then a series of much smaller groups, and then in the distance you hear what sounds like fighting after a few hours of standing guard.
Do I have access to the horn or alarm or whatever?
Do you have a horn?
I
I don't know your inventory.
No, I know that they said that.
Oh,
like,
one of the alarm horns.
Yes.
They would. Rithin would have given you one when you checked in with him. So yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking you were checking for if you had a powder horn. I was all like, you don't.
How far away?
It's like you don't have a
There, now
firearm.
my And now my mouth tastes like crap. Sorry. Anyways, okay, so how far away are they?
It's
super
like
far away?
it's almost to the eastern gate where the rot farm, like where the cave system gets near the wall, and the rot farm is kept separate from the general area. So it's like right at the edge of the rot farm.
Okay. As a note, I have my bow drawn.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Wait, the wall doesn't have a.
It has like a battlement kind of like can stand and walk on it.
Okay. I think I'm going to. Okay, so you're saying giant intruders.
You are seeing like as large as the wall moving, and then not long afterwards you see like a bunch of little figures, like maybe 6 or 7 human-sized or a little bit smaller figures moving in the darkness, followed shortly by a sound of fighting.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and blow the horn.
Okay, so you sound the alarm.
And I'm going to quickly climb down and go off to kind of not quite like right into the battle, but closer
Okay,
to the battle.
so you're getting off of the wall down onto the ground level outside the city and going towards where the battle is? I'm just finding this out so I can tell you what perspective it is that you see things from. Because there are
so I'm at
battlements.
south. Okay, so I'm going off whichever is a direct line closer to the
You're
thing.
going
Or maybe
inside or
going
outside the
inside.
wall?
You can either go inside the wall, outside the wall, or on top of the wall where you currently are.
Either inside or outside, whichever way would make a closer,
It's
like
outside.
straight line.
Closest straight line would be staying on the battlement ring and heading towards the east, which will also keep you on the wall.
That's what I would do.
Okay, so as you sound the alarm and start running, you hear the horn picked up from other directions, and like behind you, the sound of the city starting to come alive. Ingrid, Fairdeer, you hear the general alarm being sounded, and the sound of like people getting ready. You can hear down in the tap room Leslie just yelling profanities as she starts to probably board up the inn again. Fairdeer, as you run along the wall, you start to catch glimpses. You're not sure what the big thing that you saw was, but as you approach the battlefield, you see what looks like 4 large mushroom-shaped, like they look like humanoid mushrooms with spears attacking what looks like smaller, mold-colored, moldy-looking humanoids and dog-like creatures, just going at each other with spears and hissing and puffs of multicolored spores back and forth. Like one of the mold dogs, and it's just covered head to toe in bristling spikes.
War is here, guys.
That's something that people would actually be concerned about. Oh well.
So we've got fungus people. Okay.
They seem to be fighting each other, not attacking anyone from in the city as near as you can tell.
This is what happens when you give me an alarm.
I guess we're up from the alarm.
Yeah, everyone
so.
is up from the alarm now. And we're going to go ahead and call it at that because it's just about 2. And we will pick up on this next time. We should have our regular game this Sunday, hopefully. There will be no GM's Brew this Thursday due to the fact that I will be dealing with some life events that will preclude my being able to be online and doing that, but we will resume GM's Brew at its normal time the week after. The background music you've been hearing is provided by Sirenscape. Please subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and like and comment just to try and get our name out. If you're watching this on Twitch, please follow. The more followers we get, the better. We have a Twitter account at Bonus Roll that you can follow on Twitter. I don't know why I said Twitter twice. That was unnecessary.
Watch on there because Yara Abril might be posting some more art for us after a week or two.
Oh, that's right. Keep an eye on the Twitter account for some updates on not just the games that we have coming up, like the soon-to-be started Neon Rain Shadowrun game, and the unyet named Shard game, but we will be getting some new art soon, hopefully. Did you guys have any messages or anything like that y'all wanted to share?
Not in particular. It's like, not towards us anyway. It's like I don't want to just start being like, hey, here's some of my favorite things. If you want to check out things similar to this. I don't know.
We will do a Q&A at the end of one of the episodes once we get Rail back, and we can go over like stuff like that that we're interested in. That would be fun. Do a Q&A once we get Rail back.
I think we can get a Q&A in.
For me though, I'm just gonna have to get going. Unfortunately, it's been rough.
Well, I'm glad you could make it.
For...
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I hope y'all did too.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Excellent.
I just need to either deal with my technical issues or pay more attention. It's like it's a chore. It's like, unfortunately for me, because of attention deficit. But like, I definitely want to keep going with this. I love this. And it's like,
no worries. Yeah. I'm having fun. Y'all are having fun. Everyone's having fun. Hopefully, Rail will be back soon.
Yeah, thank you for being patient with me. I'll head out. Like, so have fun with the rest of the stream.
Yeah, we're going to be calling it a day. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and end the show now. Everyone, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll be back next week. Bye.
Bye.